He's ready for the fight, and he keeps it right at night. Wait till you hear what Mark Levin has at 8.
They're going to get to the bottom of this, boy, and it's all being orchestrated by Nancy Eva Stretch Pelosi to take attention away from her dereliction of duty to protect that building, to beef up protection.
The great one, Mark Levin, tonight at 8 on Southwest Florida's 92.5 Fox News. Right, all along. Did you just move to Southwest Florida to escape high taxes and failed liberal policies? You've made the right choice. Welcome to 92.5 Fox News. Right, all along. Before you go to bed at night, Dan Bongino makes sure you hear things right.
These moron dipwads couldn't figure out the fact that the beach ball effect always works with free speech. Speech will always find a way. Always.
End your night the right way with Dan Bongino. Tonight from 10 to 1 on the only one for Southwest Florida's best talk, 92.5 Fox News. Right, all along.
Smart is gorgeous storm screens and windows, custom made. Smart is the cure for the common shutter. Smart is a year-round solution. Smart is calling Storm Smart at 855-365-SMART or visit stormsmart.com today. Smart is beautiful.
You heard us right. 92.5 WFSX Estero, Fox News.
He made the case for election reform Democrat style. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. President Biden went to Georgia saying they must counter Republican reforms in that state and others.
Voter suppression and election subversion.
So he says the voting rights bill in the Senate has to be approved, but it's blocked by Republicans who call it a federal election takeover. So the president says,
we have no option but to change the Senate rules, including getting rid of the filibuster for this.
Back in Washington, Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell threatening to shut the Senate down if Democrats nuke the 60-vote rule.
So what would a post-nuclear Senate look like? I assure you it would not be more efficient.
Now, all Democrats would need to support changing the rules on this bill, but Senator Joe Manchin may not.
But even as Manchin signals his resistance, Senate Majority Leader Schumer eyeing Monday, Martin Luther King Jr. Day, as the deadline to pass voting legislation or vote to change that filibuster rule.
Fox's Griff Jenkins. There will be one more Democrat in the House. Sheila Sherphyllis McCormick easily won a special election in Florida and will replace the late Alcee Hastings in a very Democrat district. Kids will be back in class in Chicago today after a teacher walkout demanding better COVID safety protocols and remote learning options. Other communities have closed schools again.
Las Vegas schools are shutting down through next week due to a COVID surge. Bay Area schools can't find enough substitute teachers to replace those out sick. In New York City, students staged a walkout Tuesday, calling for more testing.
Fox's Jill Nato. This morning, the Biden administration says it plans to send 5 million free rapid COVID tests to schools each month to help them stay open. There's a meeting today between NATO and Russian officials in a standoff over Ukraine, days after U.S. and Russian talks amid fears that Russia plans an invasion with a big troop buildup at the border. Russia denies that. America's listening to Fox News.
You can't go wrong when you're getting it right. 92.5 WFSX Estero, Fox News. Right, all along.
This update is presented by Johnston Spinal Care, the leader in spinal decompression. Find them online at 596back.com.
Wink News, traffic.
Pondella Road is back open, one lane in each direction right near Barrett Road after a serious crash with a vehicle into a power pole. The person who was in that vehicle is taken to Lee Memorial Hospital with serious injuries. And right now you cannot get through from Pondella through April Lane, which is what Barrett Road turns into, south of the intersection. And that cuts through right to Iris Drive, which takes you to North Fort Myers High School from the backside and over toward Orange Grove Boulevard. So if you want to avoid some delays, you may want to completely stay off of Pondella Road right now. You can take Pine Island Road, which is also Bayshore in North Fort Myers, or Hancock Bridge Parkway to cut through between Del Prado and US 41. We'll keep you up to date as we watch that roadway start to fully open back up, and you may notice some power outages nearby because of the power pole that was hit. I-75 all clear this morning and no problems up and down the highway. US 41 running up to speed throughout Charlotte, Lee, Collier counties out to the East Trail, and no problems on Alligator Alley. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Therese O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority. We've got cooler, drier weather conditions in the forecast this afternoon as highs only top off in the upper 70s in most spots, lower 80s in others, but still cooler than we were yesterday. We'll stick with very breezy conditions through the later stages of this morning into the afternoon. Wind gusts could get as strong as 20 to 25 miles per hour. Eventually, things mellow out just a bit into tomorrow as we get back into the 70s. It's not until the following work week that we continue to see temperatures drop, dropping to the upper 60s in time for MLK Day. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Nash Rhodes.
Joe Biden's plan for America? Recycled leftovers. Time for some right thinking. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Let's hear from Dr. Johnston at 596 BACK.
People who suffer with back or neck problems, whether that's pain, numbness, or weakness, deal with something that can be frustrating. Pain wears us down. It can affect our relationships with family and friends. It's not fun to be around someone who's always complaining about their backs. Don't resign yourself to having to live with pain. In my office, Johnston Spinal Care, I successfully treat the worst of the worst, those who get injections, nerve-burning procedures, or even surgery. And now they're back, golfing and living life. If there's a treatment that is extremely effective for sciatica, stenosis, scoliosis, or neuropathy, wouldn't you want to see if it can help you? Non-surgical spinal decompression is now in Southwest Florida. Safe and painless, more than just a temporary fix. Long-lasting relief that can finally heal the condition, regardless of age. Take the time right now to call my Medicare-friendly office for a no-charge telephone consultation about spinal decompression. Johnston Spinal Care, 596-BACK, 596-BACK. That's 596-2225.
Rock Solid wants you in 22 to be our customer. Happy New Year at Rock Solid Countertops and More. $9.99 gets it done. For a limited time only, get a full set of kitchen countertops from $9.99 in store. Rock Solid guarantees to beat any competitor's prices, including installation. So come see Hugo and his team in Naples and Port Charlotte at 4135 Tamiami Trail. Visit RockSolidNaples.com. Rock Solid, where $9.99 gets it done.
With customer service being top priority, visit United Fidelity Bank at 14241 Metro Parkway and let them help you save and grow with market-leading CD rates. Shop, compare, invest with United Fidelity Bank's 18-month CD currently earning a 0.75% APY. The difference is United Fidelity. A penalty may be imposed for early withdrawal. Minimum deposit of $1,000 required to open CD. CD renews automatically to a standard 18-month term at the rate in effect at time of renewal, unless instructed otherwise.
Well, hello there. I am the Guitar Hotel. I have over 3,000 of the newest slot machines and nearly 200 table games with real cards and real dealers. Come experience my incredible lineup of restaurants, bars, and of course, Hard Rock Live. Or spend a day soaking up the sun in my 18 acres of poolside paradise. I can't wait to meet you. Visit hardrockholly.com to find out more.
If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Thank you for waking us all up out here, for all you do. And
thank you for giving us the voice.
For being out there helping to keep the constitutional republic.
I want to thank you for
your support for veterans in the military.
Educating us.
Standing up for conservatism.
Giving us the truth.
Daybreak with Drew Steele.
Hey, good morning, Southwest Florida. Glad you're here. 239-479-5592. That's the talk and text line. We stream live, drewsteele.com, the website, Steele S for Ease. We appreciate you watching, subscribing to the podcast, and watching the program at drewsteele.com and on Rumble, on our Rumble channel. If you would please subscribe to the channel, we do appreciate it. All right, coming up this morning, wow, you want to talk about a busy day. I hope I'm going to have enough time to get to all of the audio that is out there right now, whether it is the great governor of the state of Florida, Ron DeSantis, and some of the things that he talked about in his State of the State speech yesterday, and pretty much showing the country, showing the state, that, yeah, we got the right guy. And as a matter of fact, there are some that are saying that, listen, this might be the right guy for the rest of the country as well. And you want to talk about a speech that would launch someone into 2022, certainly for re-election, and 2024. Yeah, that was yesterday. And so we're going to play some of that audio coming up. And how, listen, there are Democrats right now who are trying to figure out best case scenario. What are we going to do for 2024? Because there's no way that there's anybody on the Democrat side that's feeling really comfortable, really good with
true international effort to pressure
that guy. And so a familiar name has been popping up a lot lately as somebody who looks like they're getting back into the political game, somebody who technically could get into the political game in 22 to set the stage for 24. On the Democrat side, a familiar name that if they just happen to be there and just happen to be running and just happen to, it's Michelle Obama. I'll just put it out there right now. Michelle Obama's name is being bounced around again. And listen, you can laugh, you can think there's no way, you can think anything you want. I wouldn't do that. I just wouldn't do it right now. So we'll just keep an eye on that story. And we'll play some of the audio from Governor DeSantis and what he said yesterday. Pretty amazing stuff. We'll get to that on the way. Also, the Ted Cruz, the grilling of Ted Cruz by Tucker Carlson just the other day on his comments about January 6th and how domestic terrorism or his domestic terrorist acts, the words that he used where Tucker Carlson grilled him on that and how could you use that kind of language, and people were just appalled that Ted Cruz would say something like that about January 6th, and how could you accuse this as an act of terrorism, and this was a huge mistake, and people talking about how, I don't know how he redeems himself after saying something like that. Well, he did it. He redeemed himself yesterday. How did he redeem himself? How did Ted Cruz redeem himself? He asked the question while, and we've got audio of this coming up as well, of the Fauci, Dr. Fauci. Remember we talked about 10 a.m. Yesterday, the Fauci and Walensky CDC director there on Capitol Hill to answer questions yesterday. And what a visual that was. The CDC director, this was the visual. Jake the millennial. You ready for this? The visual of the opening of what was to be yesterday and the Fauci and CDC director Walensky. She was double masked and he had no mask. So the CDC director, who we're told that's where Fauci's getting the directions from, is double masked, and he's sitting there without a mask. And then he put one on, and then he took it off. And it's amazing how the vid operates. I didn't know that you could have a mask on, and you can be sitting there listening to questions, then take the mask off and have somebody right next to you, within arm's length of you. And because it is on Capitol Hill, and because it's a very important moment in our history when we're talking about mandates and things that are going on with the vid, because it's such an important place and austere, I guess that means that the vid is like, oh, well, I'm not going to infect anybody. If the Fauci has like has a golden breath. It's the golden breath of the Fauci. And if he speaks, oh, there's not a vid insight. No, not at all. The Rona is Nona or something like that. But anyway, while that was going on, the Senate was having a committee hearing on January 6th, and Ted Cruz asked the question that is on everybody's mind. Not only did he go there and asking the FBI, did anybody from the FBI, was anybody involved at all with January 6th? Anybody on the ground? Wait till you hear this. And then ask who's Ray Epps. And let me tell you something, everybody. If you don't know who Ray Epps is and you don't know the name, you're going to know more about the name coming up this morning, because this is a very, very big deal. I know the Fauci and going back and forth with Rand Paul was a big deal, and I know you, many of you may have watched it live, and we'll play some portions of it, and you knew that was going to be the case, the going back and forth, and Dr. Fauci taking it an extra step further about making it personal and not answering the questions. But the January 6th committee and what was being said in that Senate committee was pretty important stuff, so we're going to get to that in just a bit. All right. Also, what we have is we have a president of the United States who is pretty much, he's lost. It's a lost cause. In a lot of ways, there's things that the president of the United States says where he's not even sure what in the heck he's talking about, using some colorful language and, pushing for something that not too long ago he would say is an outrage, getting rid of the filibuster. But yesterday was all about talking out of is it like out of both sides of your mouth? Well, no, I don't know if could he do that? Can he? When he says, I think that's out of both sides of his mouth. But it's a spittle kind of thing. But anyway, I digress. So yesterday, President Biden, Vice President Harris, they're in the state of Georgia talking about how evil Georgia is and Republicans and how it's time we get rid of the filibuster because we've got to protect the rights of voters in this country. Well, of course, we're trying to figure out how they're not protected and how it needs protecting. Nobody's been able to explain that. They don't want their explanation is going to be debunked in just a minute. You stand by. The filibuster requires that 60 votes typically are needed to advance legislation. But you have Democrats who want to move this legislation forward, move certain things forward, and they're prepared to get rid of the filibuster. The filibuster protects the minority in the Senate so that when you're talking about legislation, you're just not ramming things through. It's constitutional. Our founders understood what all of this meant. And so the 60 votes to advance protects the minority. The Democrats want to get rid of that now because they want this to move forward, this voting rights bill. This is their big get. And as a matter of fact, not every Democrat is on board with this. We're going to get to that in just a second. So you've got the president, the vice president there yesterday, and they're talking about how we need action on this Voting Rights Act, something that they've been pushing for a while, and some of the ways it's been described. We'll take a listen to this.
Today, I'm making it clear, to protect our democracy, I support changing the Senate rules, whichever way they need to be changed to prevent a minority of senators from blocking action on voting rights.
To protect the minority from blocking voting rights. Now, the setup is that there are people that are aggrieved. There are people who aren't able to vote, that are not going to be able to vote. Nobody has been able to present evidence at all that people have not been able to vote. Nobody has been turned away from a voting or a polling place, and nobody has been able to present the evidence. Because as I have said, and many Republicans have said, and many conservatives have said, and many independents have said, you show us where the evidence is that somebody has been denied the right to vote, literally right in front of our faces. So, nope, you're not allowed to vote. You can't do it. Just for no reason at all. Not to do with ID, not to do with anything else. Just have been denied. That's part of it, right? Because, if somebody were to ask if you've got ID and you say no, and then you're denied for that reason because legally in the state you have to have it. Oh, that's a deny. You can't do that, everybody, even though it's the law. Well, no. That's a bad thing, and that's what we're trying to change here. But nobody's been able to come up with that evidence to say because of any other reason that somebody's been denied the right to vote. But there he is. We've got to stop it now. We've got to stop these rogue individuals. Well, it's not as little, as few as the president may make it out to be. Is that cough?
When it comes to protecting majority rule in America...
When it comes to protecting majority rules in America, when it comes to protecting... Is that how we work here? Is it majority... Is that what we are? Are we a majority rules country? It's like, hey, listen, if the majority says we do it, we do it. It really is that? Because the last time I checked, we're a constitutional republic. It doesn't work that way. What makes us different than a whole lot of other folks out there. The idea of a democracy with majority rules. No, it doesn't exactly work that way.
In America, the majority should rule in the United States Senate. I make this announcement with careful deliberation, recognizing
I don't believe there was careful. Well, there was careful deliberation. The deliberation is that they want to federalize elections. They want to do something that constitutionally is not available to them, is something that is not allowed constitutionally. See, if you believe that majority rules and democracy rules and it's not about a constitutional republic, then you can talk the way you're talking, but that's not how we're set up. So they're going to do this end around Kristen Sinema and Joe Manchin. And quite honestly, others. They're not the only ones. Recognize something that's important here. You're going to hear Joe Manchin's name. You're going to hear Kristen Sinema's name. You're going to hear that these are the two people that have gone rogue and this is the biggest problem. Well, I can tell you there have been more than a few Democrats who are out there. Senator Mark Kelly of Arizona says, quote, I've never been part of an organization where it's really hard to do things. So if there's a real proposal, I'll take a look and evaluate it in the best interest of the country. But as far as voting on this, he needs to see what's going on with voting to blow up the filibuster. He's not exactly on board. Senator Chris Coons of Connecticut, he's seriously weighing what to do. He's not sure if he wants to go there. Senator Jeanne Shaheen says that reform is needed, but promoting more modest changes. So not exactly up for this nuclear option and blowing all of this up. There's more than a few people that are not really sure politically if that's where they want to go. So it's not just Sinema and Manchin. They're not the only two that are the problem here. But now you've got, once again, Joe Biden going to that place that, well, let's just say you're going to go to. And we're going to the race card. That's where we're going. We're going to talk about race. That's what it's going to be about people being denied because of their race. See, that's where we're going.
Will you stand for democracy? Yes or no? And here's one thing every senator, every American should remember. History has never been kind to those who've sided with voter suppression over voters' rights. And it will even be less kind for those who side with election subversion.
Okay, so here you go, election subversion. People are watching. You're on the side of good, or are you on the side of evil? That's what the president wants to know, and he's going to call out individuals who are on the side of evil. You know, those who want to change election laws, which I'm assuming is that what has been going on in Georgia and other places is going to laws and enforcing laws pre-pandemic, because we don't want to have a situation like we had during the pandemic where things are going to be changed. Well, by the way, a lot of things were changed during the pandemic in 2020 and in places like Pennsylvania and the like, and they already had pretty solid laws there in the state, election laws, that were all changed just like that, because we were told that, well, it's a pandemic and we have an unusual situation here, and when it comes to mail-in ballots, and when it comes to how long polls can be open, and the idea that we have to count through the night, and we don't have enough individuals, and all of these different things that were changed, subverted, if you will, at the time. We don't want to see that back again, because we know that pretty bad things could happen if you were to go against legally the laws of the states and elections. Well, we could fix that. If we make it federal, then we don't have to worry about that. And you see where they're going? Yeah. Okay.
So I ask every elected official in America, how do you want to be remembered? At consequential moments in history, they present a choice. Do you want to be on the side of Dr. King or George Wallace? Do you want to be on the side of John Lewis or Bull Connor? Do you want to be on the side of Abraham Lincoln or Jefferson Davis?
What? Are you serious? Yeah, yes, he's quite serious. That's where he's going. That's where we're going here with this.
This is the moment to decide, to defend our elections, to defend our democracy.
Gotta get that.
And if you do that, you will not be alone. Will you stand?
All right. If you do that, you won't be alone. You'll be one of the good guys. You won't be evil. That's really where they're going. Especially Joe Biden, which is humorous. Joe Biden, the same person in bringing up the name George Wallace. It was David Harsani who wrote about the connections between Joe Biden and George Wallace, if we really want to go there. He bragged about being praised by George Wallace. It's the same Joe Biden.
Do you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump and you ain't black?
Yeah, the same Joe Biden. Do you really want to go there, Joe Biden? Well, apparently he can, and he does. And listen, there's a lot to unpack here, and there's a lot more audio. This is the same. Wasn't this the same person during the 2012 presidential campaign and talking about Mitt Romney?
Unchain Wall Street. They're going to put you all back in chains.
Yeah. Yeah. So again, as we continue to talk about this is where we are going right now. Democrats want this desperately. Voting Rights Act, in their eyes, is going to be their ticket to winning elections in 22 and 24. And oh, by the way, they get a win-win situation. If they get this and they federalize elections, if they do this, and this is a bad thing to do, they're going to try to be slick about it and say, listen, we're going to blow up the filibuster. We're not going to completely do it. It's just going to be for select moments in time. Maybe for just a month we'll do it so that we can hurry up and vote on this. And just for the month we'll be able to possibly get through this. Now, there's no guarantee that Manchin or Sinema are going to be on board, so why is he doing this anyway? Why bring all of this up? Obviously, to call out individuals and even people like Sinema and Manchin to make them look like they're part of the evil group that doesn't care about voting rights. And then you have the other win, which is this. If they don't get it, everybody, if they don't get this win, then it is an excuse to say something negative about what will be a wave, a red wave, a possible red wave, the likes of which we have never seen. And to say the only reason why that happened is because of the Voting Rights Act didn't get passed. Is because Republicans, the evil Republicans, tried to do it again and succeeded this time in subverting the will of the American people during an election. They're going to try to make this a win-win. You just have to keep your eye on it. 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line. We stream live, drewsteele.com, the website. Steele has 3 E's. We appreciate you watching and subscribing to the podcast. A couple of phone calls. Alan and Bruce, stay right there. We'll get to your calls coming up. It's Daybreak 92.5. Fox News, right all along.
92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
This Fox Business Report is presented by the Darda Real Estate Group at dardagroup.com.
I'm Maria Bartiromo, and this is the Fox Business Report.
You may find some empty shelves at your supermarket. Thanks to COVID staffing shortages and weather trouble, a lot of products just can't get to stores. The Consumer Brands Association says usually stores are out of 5 to 10% of products. Right now, they're hovering around 15%. A rebound for Wall Street Tuesday. Investors apparently relieved that Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell's testimony to Congress did not include any major surprises, and he's promising to fight inflation.
We are strongly committed to achieving our statutory goals of maximum employment and price stability. We will use our tools to support the economy and a strong labor market and to prevent higher inflation from becoming entrenched.
The Dow finished up 183 points, the S&P up by 43. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jill Nato, invested in you.
Are you ready to list your home for sale? What if you could receive a guaranteed offer on your home with no showings, no open houses, and no stress? Contact the Darda Group at dardagroup.com to learn about their guaranteed offer. The Darda Group has 30 years of experience and consistently ranks in the top 3% of real estate agents in Lee County. Find out if your home qualifies for a guaranteed offer and how you may receive an offer in as little as 24 hours and close escrow in as little as 21 days. No home prep, no showings, no open houses. You control when your home is sold and when you move. Learn more about this elite real estate team and the guaranteed offer at dardagroup.com. Don't wait. Schedule an appointment at dardagroup.com. That's dardagroup.com. A Compass Realty broker.
Fox News listeners, Saturday morning is the perfect time to talk boats and water fun in Southwest Florida. This is Adam Botana again from Baywater Sousa Boat Club. Join us every Saturday morning from 7 to 8 for the Baywater Boat Club Hour. We talk boats, fishing, boating hotspots, water quality, on top of Jake the Millennial and I just having fun on the radio. And if you don't have a boat, Baywater Sousa Boat Club has got you covered. Just call me, Adam, at 239-495-0455.
Eating dinner in your underwear? Hey, put some clothes on. Taking cold showers every hour? Or pitching a tent in front of your refrigerator to stay cool. These are things you can do to beat the heat in your home. Or get a $49 preseason tune-up with no breakdown guarantee.
I love Cool Today.
Call it today, cool today. Visit cooltoday.com.
Let's roll, America. Get $5,000 over the KBB.com value for your trade-in during Naples Nissan's Let's Roll America sales event. Hey, Southwest Florida, come roll with us at Naples Nissan and get $5,000 over the KBB.com value for your trade-in, whether it runs or not. Push, pull, or drag it in if you have to. Choose from over 200 new Nissan models in stock, ready to drive home, and all backed by Naples Nissan's exclusive unlimited mile lifetime warranty. Get $5,000 over the KBB.com value for your trade-in and get rolling in a brand new 2022 Nissan today. Don't miss the Let's Roll America sales event, only at Naples Nissan on Pine Ridge Road. That's exit 107 of I-75 or naplesnissan.com. Offers on select models with approved credit and cannot be combined. Visit naplesnissan.com for full details.
Hi, I'm Emmitt Smith, Pro Football Hall of Famer and three-time champion.
Pro Football's all-time leading rusher Emmitt Smith talks about joint pain.
Trust me, I know about joint pain. Sure, I made it look easy, but if my body could speak, it would say, I'm in pain.
Are you living with chronic joint pain? Knees, hips, lower back, shoulders? Don't just assume the old treatments are the only treatments.
I've gone under the knife to get rid of pain, but now there are options, and you need to check them out.
Emmitt's talking about QC Kinetics, exciting new natural biologic therapies that can repair and restore damaged tissue in your joints. New options now available here.
You can encourage your body to actually heal itself with the help of QC Kinetics.
Real relief with no surgery, no drugs, no downtime. Call the local medical professionals at QC Kinetics for regenerative restorative treatments with lasting relief.
But now, you and I, we have help. QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 239-893-PAIN. That's 239-893-PAIN. QC Kinetics, 239-893-PAIN.
I'm Mark Anajar from the law offices of Anajar & Levine. Unfortunately, many drivers in Florida do not carry liability insurance or have limits of insurance that are insufficient to cover your injuries. Uninsured motorist is valuable coverage that you can purchase to protect you in those instances. Call the law offices of Anajar & Levine at 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733 for a free consultation and take back control of your life.
Office in Fort Myers, Naples.
Tell you about my water heater?
Not lately.
Supposed to take it for granted, right?
Well...
until it stops working, which it did.
Been taking care of it, though, right?
What?
Professionally flushed out every year?
Nobody told me that.
I thought everyone knew
What
that.
else don't I know about water heaters?
Dave.
Have to scrape off the barnacles?
Dave.
Next you'll tell me I need to change the timing belt and upgrade the firmware just so I can enjoy my rainfall shower head with water that's maybe just a little warmer than actual rain!
Dave, so what's the best case scenario?
Best case? Okay, I make one call, someone comes out and fixes my water heater today. Maybe comes back to do that maintenance stuff.
That's best?
Well, yeah, but...
That's best. Best Home Services. They always have 4 plumbing trucks standing by waiting for last-minute calls.
They do all the...
Yes, they do.
GetBest.com. When something goes wrong, we're waiting.
So I can't take my water heater for granted?
Or your air conditioner.
What?
Getting older has its advantages. Early bird dinners, senior discounts, day drinking. If you're one of the millions turning 65 soon, it might be time to take a look at your insurance options. Original Medicare, Medicare Advantage, so much to keep in mind. At Millennium Physician Group, half our patients are 65 plus. No matter what insurance benefits you choose, make sure your Millennium primary care doctor is part of your plan and your connection to a healthier life. Millennium Physician Group. Connect today. 844-CALL MPG, MillenniumPhysician.com.
Wink News, traffic.
Pondella Road shut down one lane in each direction near Barrett Road because of a crash of a vehicle into a power pole. And we're also seeing some power outages nearby affecting about 150 or so LCEC customers in the area south of Hancock Bridge Parkway. So if you see any traffic lights out in that area on the roads, just be sure to treat those as a 4-way stop. Crews are working to get that cleaned up. You cannot get through on April Lane down toward Iris Drive, which takes you the back way over toward North Fort Myers High School. So you'll want to take Orange Grove Boulevard there instead. You can also take Hancock Bridge to completely get around that closure on Pondella or Pine Island Road. That'll get you through just fine as well. No major problems up and down I-75 or 41. No other crashes out across Southwest Florida so far. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Teresa O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Another day of above average temperatures with highs in the upper 70s across all of southwest Florida. Expect things to remain dry as far as humidity is concerned, but still rain chances popping back up into the forecast as early as this morning. Very low chances this morning, but eventually a few stray showers and even weaker thunderstorms will likely form in the early evening to early overnight hours tonight. Eventually, tomorrow morning, we'll see a second round of rain and scattered thunderstorms. Those will be ahead of a cold front that will dry us out for the remainder of this week. By the start of next week, expect highs to be into the upper 60s and lower 70s to start things off. I'm Week News Weather Authority meteorologist Nash Rhodes.
Keeping it right here. We're 92.5 Fox News. And we've been right all along.
It's Fred Kobe with your Kobe Cooling Tip of the Day. I've been told once that I'm the most credentialed mold investigator in South Florida, which kind of makes me a nerd in this business. When your air conditioning guy is talking to you about mold, he doesn't know what he's talking about. He's just trying to sell you a solution that probably won't work. When you hear about ultraviolet lights and the duct cleaning, you're listening to somebody who has no idea how to solve a mold problem. If you want real answers and real solutions, give me a call at 239-482-1542 because I'm actually an expert and have the training and credentials to back it up. I won't sell snake oil solutions, and I'll tell you the truth. When you think of air conditioning companies, we hope you'll think of Kobe Cooling. No nonsense and no pressure. We're the company your neighbors use. License CACO 57313. Kobe, the most trusted name in this business since 1949. Locally owned and operated.
Encore Luxury Cabinets and Design is proud of their impeccable reputation for truly unique design and custom cabinetry. Whether you're looking for custom hand-built Amish cabinetry or modern high-gloss Italian cabinetry for your home, Encore is the place to start. Their expanded showroom is filled with ideas, styles, and samples to guide you to the perfect design for your kitchen, bath, media center, outdoor kitchen, or custom closet. Their design team will create a 3D drawing so you can visualize and refine your project before they get started, saving you time and money. No matter how large or small your project is, Encore Luxury Cabinets and Design appreciates the investment in your home. Whether it's a remodel or new home construction, Encore treats every job as a custom job and every client as a VIP. Call Encore at 239-331-5287 to schedule a design consultation at their Naples showroom or visit EncoreCabinetDesign.com for ideas for your residential cabinetry, new home construction, or remodeling project.
With customer service being top priority, visit United Fidelity Bank at 14241 Metro Parkway and let them help you save and grow with market-leading CD rates. Shop, compare, invest with United Fidelity Bank's 18-month CD currently earning a 0.75% APY. The difference is United Fidelity. A penalty may be imposed for early withdrawal. Minimum deposit of $1,000 required to open CD. CD renews automatically to a standard 18-month term at the rate in effect at time of renewal, unless instructed otherwise.
The new year means new opportunity to save money on your insurance.
Hi, this is Brian Chapman at Chapman Insurance Group. Now is the perfect time to take a look at your plans for the year ahead. If you're considering a move, getting a new car, have new drivers hitting the road, or just want to reevaluate your coverage and costs, give us an opportunity to quote your home, auto, business, or flood policy. At Chapman Insurance Group, we can save you money for the same or better coverage.
Visit CIGFlorida.com or call an office near you today. Naples, Fort Myers, Cape Coral, Port Charlotte, and Punta Gorda.
It's a new year and a great time to upgrade your cabinets. You want Sinclair quality. You want Sinclair craftsmanship. You want Sinclair cabinets. Sinclair Custom Homes now offers their handmade, built in the USA custom cabinets without having to purchase a Sinclair custom home. You can now have the same high quality furniture finished cabinets in your existing home. Upgrade your kitchen, your bath, your closets, even your garage. For details, visit SinclairCabinets.com. That's SinclairCabinets.com.
Stay right here, because after Drew, it's Glenn Beck, 9 to noon. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along. This is Daybreak with Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
I saw that the Girl Scouts announced a new partnership with DoorDash that will allow their drivers to deliver Girl Scout cookies. Right now, there's a bunch of 50-year-old drivers like, do I really have to wear the sash?
Okay. How about that? You like that, Jake? Jake the Millennial? A little Girl Scout cookie action that the DoorDash comes up and brings the Girl Scout cookies to you? What do you think?
People are lazy, dude.
I mean, Well, I mean, it's true because there's like a Girl Scout selling cookies on every corner, and there's probably one in your neighborhood that knocked on your door already, right? I know mine did.
Well, I'm just thinking about the fact that whenever you order
Military.
anything from any one of these food delivery services,
Yeah.
if you order a $6 sandwich, it's going to cost you about $38.
Well, I don't know about that.
Pay $20 for a box of cookies, go for it.
I don't know. But listen, I have to admit, the Thin Mints at certain times of the day or the hour are worth $38 to $40 delivery. I mean, it's just a fact. It's sometimes you just got to have a Thin Mint. There's nothing. Is there even? Think about this.
Why don't you just brush your teeth? Why would you eat something that has a mint? Like I don't understand that.
Wait a minute. What does brushing my teeth have anything to do with the mint?
You want to eat a toothpaste, chocolate covered.
Oh,
candy.
you think that the Thin Mints taste like toothpaste?
Do you also eat the ice cream, the green ice cream?
Absolutely. Mint chocolate chip is one of the greatest inventions. It's better than the accidental invention of peanut butter and chocolate. You know, the accident.
You think it's better?
You know,
I'm just gonna see myself out.
Did you know that? Did you know that chocolate and peanut butter was an accidental invention? There were two people walking down the street and they bumped into each other, and next thing you know, the chocolate bar accidentally went into this guy's jar. It's an old Reese's commercial from the 70s or something like that. Look it up. But anyway, the idea of mint chocolate chip, the greatest ice cream, hands down. Don't even argue with me.
What is wrong with you? I don't.
Okay. And Thin Mints, think about this too. Here's how you know, and if you would like to call or text and challenge me right now, I accept your challenge because what I'm about to say will either blow your mind and change your life in ways that you never thought possible, or it's going to be a complete destruction. It's just falling to earth. It's going to be awful and hideous. Here we go. You can tell how good something is, like a Thin Mint, because nobody has been able to duplicate it. Tell me where there's a duplicate. Who has duplicated Thin Mints? Who has created something like a Thin Mint that you would go, oh yeah, when it's not Girl Scout season, when there's no Girl Scout cookies left, I just go to the store and buy fill in the blank, and it's like the same thing. Think about it. Think about what is the Thin Mint replacement. There isn't one.
Toothpaste?
No, stop with the toothpaste. Come on. Clearly you don't like mint. All right, I got it. Or toothpaste, one or the other. I don't get that close to you, so I don't know. Although the masks don't help. Let me tell you something. Oh man, listen. There are some. You can't help it. I'm just saying, the masks and breath and a mint might help. You can't find a replacement. There is none. Look, do you see phones ringing? No, they're not ringing. Do you see people texting? No. You know why?
Because they're disgusting.
Because I'm right.
No.
That's how good a Thin Mint is. It's just a fact of life, and it's okay to. Sometimes in life. Here. Let me give you. Listen, a valuable lesson, kids. Sometimes in life, there are things that you absolutely cannot deny. And the fact that there's no Thin Mint replacement is one of them. It's just
tag-alongs are better. They're the best.
I don't know what a tag-along is. If I knew what that was,
chocolate one.
I don't know what that means. 239-479-5592, the talk and text line. Hey, quickly, Bruce is in Cape Coral. Bruce wanted to mention something about President of the United States yesterday in Georgia, along with the vice president, or otherwise known as the president. I think he did it again. He called the vice president the president again. He seems to have a habit of doing this. And we come to find out that the Voting Rights Act that they want to pass and blow up the filibuster to do it, and it's because our democracy is at stake, January 6th, blah, 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 all this dangerous stuff and everything else. And he mentioned all of these names. Do you want to be like George Wallace? Do you want to be like Bull Connor? Do you want to be like, what did he say? Jefferson Davis, right? So Bruce brought up a great point. Go ahead, Bruce.
Yeah, I tell you, Drew, the hypocrisy of these scoundrels, these communists parading as Democrats, just breathtaking. All of those people, from George Wallace, segregation now, segregation forever, to Bull Connor sticking the dogs in the water hoses on the protesters at Selma, to Jefferson Davis overseeing the massacre of 500,000 Americans in the Civil War, were all of the Democratic Party.
Oh, wait a second. That was a big reveal there. There you go, Bruce. They were all Democrats. Really? Wait, no, Bruce. No, you're wrong. I've been told by reliable Democrats that Democrats throughout their history have been the ones that have been against slavery, for the Union of the United States, and certainly when it comes to civil rights have always been the ones that have been at the forefront.
Yeah, the forefront of stopping civil rights.
Yeah, well, there's that. I forget. When you go and you actually look into your history and look through the books, read a book, you may end up finding out things about Democrats and the party that may rub you the wrong way. You know. But that was then. They don't bring that. No. It's a different. You can't talk about the past. It's about now, Bruce. It's what it.
It's because it's factual.
Yeah.
You know, they use the filibuster 327 times in 2020. The Democratic Party.
Yes, they have. That is a fact, Jack. That is actually that's true. And so, well, Bruce, listen, I appreciate the call. Thank you so much. 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line. Streaming live, drewsteele.com. The website still has 3 E's. Gosh, do I have that audio? He did it again, right? Didn't the... I thought there was audio. I thought I had it someplace of the president doing it again and calling the vice president the president. Oh, here he is saying that he was arrested during the civil rights movement. Did you miss this? Here.
I did not walk in the shoes of generations of students who walked these grounds, but I walked other grounds because I'm so damn old I was there as well. They think I'm kidding, man.
No, we're not.
Seems like yesterday, the first time I got arrested. Anyway.
Okay. He never was arrested during a civil rights movement. It never happened. He just keeps saying these things, and maybe he stopped himself before he got too carried away. But all right. All right, Ralph's in Fort Myers, and Ralph wants to make a claim that I think is unbelievably outrageous. Ralph is claiming right now as we speak that there is an actual replacement for Thin Mints Girl Scout cookies. Go ahead, Ralph. What is it?
Hey, good morning, Drew. The replacement spare tire for Thin Mints. It's just a spare tire. It's not the replacement. It's Andes Cream. You know, they're in the green foil wrapper, little thin chocolates. Sometimes you catch them at the doctor's office for some reason.
You mean like a peppermint patty thing, like that kind of?
No, it's Andes Cream.
Andes or Andes or Andes Cream.
Yeah. I get Santa Claus puts them in my stocking every year.
Really?
It's your spare tire, Drew. It's your spare tire. It's not the replacement.
Is that what it? Okay, I'll have to look into that. All right. So Ralph's got the replacement supposedly. Yeah, I don't know. Do you have any idea what he's talking about?
No, I don't eat mint candy.
Oh, that's true. You don't eat it, and I don't eat candy from doctors' offices. It's just. You know, it's like when you go to the dentist and they have
give
like
you a sucker.
Yeah, well, they like at the dentist office they have candy like in the jars. Like I'm at a dentist. Why are you giving me candy? What are you doing? I can't eat that. This is the reason why I'm here.
Recurring customer.
Well, unless it's sugar free. I haven't really asked. But there's always that. All right, 239-479-5592. Hey, okay. Do I want to play some of the other things that Joe Biden said? Yesterday, just a couple of things quickly. There was the arrested thing, and he did this. Didn't he slam the table or something? He was really angry, right?
I've been having these quiet conversations with the members of Congress for the last 2 months. I'm tired of being quiet.
We're not. Can you be quiet a little more often? Okay. I just wanted to bring up one flat out lie that he said, or maybe distortion. And it's going to continue. And because the media doesn't fact check, nobody fact checks. They have fact checkers, but they don't fact check. We'll never get the truth. We have to do the fact checking here. And it was about water not being allowed. If you're going to vote, you're not even allowed to have water. I mean, it's biblical, as Joe Biden says.
Longer lines at the polls. Lines that can last for hours. You've seen it with your own eyes.
Yeah, by the way, there doesn't have to be long lines. It doesn't have to be. There's ways to remedy that. The suggestion of long lines and people at polling places, maybe there's a way to remedy that. Opening up more polling places, getting more people there and out and about. And you might even say that during a pandemic, not many people wanted to be out and about. But that's beside the point.
People get tired. They get hungry. When the Bible teaches us to feed the hungry and give water to the thirsty, the new Georgia law actually makes it illegal. Think of this. I mean,
It's not true. It doesn't make it illegal. It doesn't make it illegal to get water and food if you're waiting in line to vote. It's a lie, but let him go.
2020. And now 22.
He caught himself figuring out it's not 2020 anymore.
Going into that election, it makes it illegal
No, it doesn't.
to bring your neighbors, your fellow voters, food or water.
Yeah, no, it's a lie. It's a flat out lie. It's not what the law says at all. Quite honestly, even PolitiFact, how about that? PolitiFact was like, yeah, it's not true. They talked about it a while back. That Georgia's SB 202 about food and water. No. It's talking about soliciting. In other words, you can't go up on a line and bring them food and water and say, hey, Congressman blah, blah, blah is running for re-election, and he wanted you to have this bottle of water. Yeah, you can't do that. And that's been that way for a while. And a lot of people doing that kind of soliciting. It's not the same thing. You can put water out, self-serve. The law allows poll workers to set up self-serve water stations for voters to use, so he's lying. It's not true. They set up for self-serve. They just don't want somebody coming in while you're waiting and saying, hey, you want some Thin Mints? How about a box of Thin Mints? Here you go. Oh, and by the way, this is the person that's giving to you. And see the T-shirt? And don't forget to vote for him. You know, that kind of... Yeah, you can't do that. So, all right. This seems to be a big deal. Anthony's in Naples, and Anthony has a Thin Mint alternative. Okay, so far the first one, I'm not sure about this Andy's Candy thing. I'm not really sure it's a legit Thin Mint replacement Girl Scout cookie. But go ahead, Anthony, give it your best shot.
So I buy 18 boxes of Thin Mints every year. I send half to the troops and keep half for me. And the alternative is Keebler Grasshoppers, 100% official.
Keebler Grasshoppers. They're
on the cookie aisle.
They're mint flavored?
Yep. Identical almost.
All right. Well, I'll tell you, Anthony, today I'm going to go and I'm going to buy these grasshoppers, and I will report back tomorrow if you're here.
I will be on every morning. I'll listen to you.
Only if I know you're going to be back, Anthony. That's the only reason.
I will be back.
Okay, sir. I will report back tomorrow, okay? This
Have
time.
a great day, Drew.
Right,
Thank you.
You too. Okay, back at you. I was just bringing up the fact, if you just tuned in, that Girl Scout cookies, they're being sold now. And the young lady come to the door yesterday and talk about buying how many boxes. And the Thin Mints, you can tell Thin Mints are the one of the better cookies, if not the best, because there's no alternative. If you don't have a Thin Mint, there's no replacement. You can't find a replacement for a Thin Mint. And so Anthony says it's Keebler Grasshoppers. I will report back. Unless somebody has them and can report back for me. In which case, that would be good for my waistline. Which lately nothing has been. 239-479-5592. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, enough of Joe Biden Voting Rights Act blowing up the filibuster. This is what the Democrats want to do. They're desperate to win elections because their policies clearly will not win the elections. Just look at everything that's going on in the country right now and some of the things that we're seeing. Now the latest is, hey, listen, food, milk, eggs, and other things, you may not be able to get them soon, and we're going to start dealing with this now. So now food is going to be the thing that we're going to have to worry about, and we're going to have to look to the federal government as our savior to save us now? Is that... Okay. So we'll get to that coming up. Also, on the way, if you missed it from yesterday, Dr. Fauci and Rand Paul in their exchange, it was classic. Oh, and by the way, Dr. Fauci using the Lord's name in vain, but no big deal. I'm sure behind the scenes, I don't really want to know, but I've got the audio. All right, coming up. It's Daybreak 92.5, Fox News, right all along with traffic. Here's Therese O'Shea.
Pondella Road is back open westbound, but we're still seeing roadblock in the eastbound right-hand lane, causing backups on Pondella near Barrett Road. April Lane looks like it's still closed off to traffic as well, heading south down toward Iris Drive, which takes you toward North Fort Myers High School. There's also another crash just down the road now over at 41 in Pondella with no roadblock or injuries, but causing a little bit more of a backup westbound toward the intersection. We also have a crash now in Estero along Estero Parkway at Three Oaks Parkway. It's right by Three Oaks Elementary, and we have a couple lanes blocked off westbound there on Estero Parkway, right off of I-75, causing some slowdowns in the area. The interstate itself looking clear across Southwest Florida. Collier County right now, crash and incident-free. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Therese O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Highs climb into the upper 70s this afternoon under partly cloudy skies. Low-end rain chances throughout the morning before better chances come in the early evening hours into the early overnight hours tonight. Eventually, a second round of spotty to scattered showers will form tomorrow morning ahead of a cold front that will dry us out for the remainder of this week. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Nash Rhodes.
Rock Solid wants you in 22 to be our customer. Happy New Year at Rock Solid Countertops and More. $9.99 gets it done. For a limited time only, get a full set of kitchen countertops from $9.99. Install. Rock Solid guarantees to beat any competitor's prices, including installation. So come see Hugo and his team in Naples and Port Charlotte at 4135 Tamiami Trail. Visit rocksolidnaples.com. Rock Solid, where $9.99 gets it done.
For professional roofing, the name you need to know is D.R. Martineau. You can count on us for great service. You can count on us to get it done. You can count on us for a price that's fair. The quality is second to none. For professional roofing, the name you need to know is D.R. Martineau.
Searching everywhere for great prices on appliances? No, you're not, because you have better things to do. Besides, Good Deals has it for less, and they have plenty of items in stock despite shortages everywhere else. Remember, Good Deals guarantees the lowest price on everything they sell. Find a lower price anywhere, and Jay will beat it, guaranteed. Visit one of the showrooms in Fort Myers, Naples, and Cape Coral, or shop online at GoodDealsAppliances.com.
Good Deals Appliances. Have we got a deal for you?
Hi, I'm Ty Laster, Managing Partner and CEO of Key City Capital. So why are we here in Southwest Florida? Well, at KCAP, our mission is to connect capital to wealth for all of our partners through passive real estate investments. And very simply, we generate and distribute double-digit returns for our investors by investing in single-family homes and apartments and unique alternative cash-flowing asset-backed investments.
Call us today at 239-330-2080 or check us out online today at kcap925.com.
Let's hear from Dr. Johnston at 596-BACK.
Have you ever had pain down your legs or into your hips and thought, why is this happening? There's a large nerve that comes out of your back that runs down into your leg called the sciatic nerve. This nerve can get compressed by a bulging herniated disc, arthritis, stenosis, or scoliosis. This causes sciatica, which eventually can lead to back, leg, or hip pain, weakness, or numbness. Avoid the band-aids like anti-inflammatories, spinal injections, or painful surgery. Sciatica, as well as bulging disc neuropathy and stenosis, can now effectively be treated with non-surgical spinal decompression at Johnston Spinal Care, 596-BACK. Spinal decompression decompresses the discs and nerves, allowing them to heal. FDA cleared, safe and comfortable. Make a decision to live life without pain. Call my office, Johnston Spinal Care, for a free telephone consultation. 596-BACK. 596-BACK. That's 596-2225.
After a car accident, you can feel like you've lost control. I'm Glenn Levine from the law offices of Anajar & Levine. Our team can help you understand your legal options after an accident. We will file your claim and fight for the full compensation you deserve. If you've been involved in a car accident, call the law offices of Anajar & Levine at 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733 for a free consultation. And take back control of your life.
Offices Fort Myers and Naples.
From Drew to Trey and all through the day, we get it right from morning till night. Drew Steele gets you up on the right side of the bed with live and local talk every morning starting at 6. Then it's Glenn Beck at 9, Clay Travis and Buck Sexton at noon, Sean Hannity at 3, and Trey Radel with The Drive at 5. From Drew to Trey and all through the day, we get it right from morning till night. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Hi, Michael Crothers, owner of Pure Air Conditioning. Now that our economy is reopened and to help the community, we've decided to offer a safe $29 AC maintenance. All Pure Air employees are supplied with gloves, foot coverings, and KN95 masks for your and their protection. Find us online at getpureair.com to schedule your safe $29 AC maintenance. Join me every Saturday at 11:30 a.m. for the Get Pure Air radio show. I'll be talking about everything from air conditioning maintenance to troubleshooting tips.
Hey, we've got my friend Dave Meister on the phone, of course, with the Floor Meisters, the family-owned Floor Meisters in Naples. And Dave, listen, I know you got a lot of things going on. You're selling a lot of cord tech. That's great, but you got this 8,000 square foot showroom with a selection of carpet that is absolutely unbelievable as well. And the prices right now are pretty amazing. So I hear you got this whole thing going on with Dreamweaver carpet starting at, wait a minute, let me just get this right, at just $1.99 a square foot?
Yes, installed carpet pad and labor, $1.99.
And there's the phones ringing already. Look at that. They're getting excited, Dave. Tell me more about what we've got here.
So we've got a big selection, and this is quite a carpet.
Listen, if you haven't been to the Floor Meisters, you really owe it to yourself to visit their store, 6281 Naples Boulevard, right next to Costco. Whether it's tile, laminate, hardwood, or, of course, carpet, they've got it all. So give them a call today, 239-596-4964, or on the web at floormeisters.com.
Lusk, Drasites, and Telesano believes winning cases is no accident. Your case is important. Pick a firm with resources to actually prosecute your case. If your case is accepted, you're guaranteed to not pay a single penny in fees or costs unless you get a favorable settlement or verdict. Lusk, Drasites, and Telesano has over 35 years of experience handling personal injury cases in Florida. Visit ldtlaw.com for a free consultation today. Winning is no accident. Lusk, Drasites, and Telesano. ldtlaw.com.
Getting older has its advantages. Early bird dinners, senior discounts, day drinking. If you're one of the millions turning 65 soon, it might be time to take a look at your insurance options. Original Medicare, Medicare Advantage, so much to keep in mind. At Millennium Physician Group, half our patients are 65 plus. No matter what insurance benefits you choose, make sure your Millennium primary care doctor is part of your plan and your connection to a healthier life. Millennium Physician Group. Connect today. 844-CALL-MPG. MillenniumPhysician.com.
The news you need, the host you trust, getting it right all day and all night. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along. Stay right here, because after Drew, it's Glenn Beck, 9 to noon. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along. Keeping you in the right lane for your drive home. 92.5 WFSX Estero. Fox News. Right all along.
Prevent invading. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. There are more talks today with Russia, this time involving NATO, amid worries about a big troop buildup at Ukraine's border. Fox's Simon Owen has more live.
And Dave, there were stern expressions all round as NATO's Secretary-General welcomed Russian officials to the alliance's headquarters in Brussels, although there were warmer greetings when diplomats from the military alliance, including U.S. Deputy Secretary of State Wendy Sherman, gathered with the Russians to get talks underway. The meeting comes with the U.S. concerned Russia may be planning to invade Ukraine. Russia denies it's plotting an attack. Dave?
Simon, pushing the Democrats' election reform plan. President Biden went to Georgia saying they must counter Republican reforms in that state and others.
It's no longer about who gets to vote. It's about making it harder to vote.
But Republicans say they're making it harder to cheat. Congressman Brian Stile tells Fox.
Biden and the Democrats want to nationalize our elections. They want to gut voter ID.
The president says they can't let Republicans block the bill in the Senate.
Getting rid of the filibuster for this.
So he's in favor of that, but GOP Senate Leader Mitch McConnell counters.
The Senate isn't broken and doesn't need fixing.
And McConnell might get some help. There are a few Democrats who may not go along with that rules change. Kids will be back to school in Chicago today after teachers ended a walkout with an agreement.
With this deal, the union was able to get an increase in weekly COVID testing for students and metrics for when individual schools can decide to go remote.
Fox's Garrett Tenney. This morning, there's news the Biden administration plans to send 5 million free rapid COVID tests to schools nationwide each month. In a hearing yesterday, Democratic Senator Patty Murray asked the Biden COVID team,
what are you doing to address the frustrations and challenges we are hearing about COVID testing?
They said 500 million at-home test kits are coming, and some will be mailed by the end of the month. America's listening to Fox News.
This Fox News update is presented by Freedom Dental of Fort Myers. Online at freedomdentalftmyers.com.
Wink News, traffic.
Pondella Road is back open westbound, but we're still seeing roadblock in the eastbound right-hand lane, causing backups on Pondella near Barrett Road April Lane looks like it's still closed off to traffic as well, heading south down toward Iris Drive, which takes you toward North Fort Myers High School. There's also another crash just down the road now over at 41 in Pondella with no roadblock or injuries, but causing a little bit more of a backup westbound toward the intersection. We also have a crash now in Estero along Estero Parkway at Three Oaks Parkway. It's right by Three Oaks Elementary, and we have a couple lanes blocked off westbound there on Estero Parkway, right off of I-75, causing some slowdowns in the area. The interstate itself looking clear across southwest Florida. Collier County right now, crash and incident-free. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Teresa O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Another day of above-average temperatures with highs in the upper 70s across all of southwest Florida. Expect things to remain dry as far as humidity is concerned, but still rain chances popping back up into the forecast as early as this morning. Very low chances this morning, but eventually a few stray showers and even weaker thunderstorms will likely form in the early evening to early overnight hours tonight. Eventually, tomorrow morning, we'll see a second round of rain and scattered thunderstorms. Those will be ahead of a cold front that will dry us out for the remainder of this week. By the start of next week, expect highs to be into the upper 60s and lower 70s to start things off. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Nash Rhodes.
No matter where you want to listen, you'll be all set when you stream 92.5 Fox News live at rightallalong.net.
You'd think an Army veteran with a military career, including multiple combat deployments throughout the Middle East, would be a great American. And you'd be right. But Joe Vanderbosch also happens to be a great dentist. An Army veteran of 8 years, Dr. Joe now makes his home in Southwest Florida, where his wife Sarah grew up.
Hi, I'm Dr. Joseph Vanderbosch, Freedom Dental on Metro Parkway in Fort Myers. In the Army, I received extra training in order to provide dental care in virtually any condition. That's why I can manage many dental treatments without the need to refer to a specialist. I served my country proudly for 8 years. Now I want to serve you in your dental needs. Special discounts for former and active military without dental insurance.
Dr. Vanderbosch provides emergency care and is now accepting new patients for cleaning, extractions, crowns, implants, and more. Find them online at freedomdentalfortmyers.com. That's freedomdentalfortmyers.com. Dr. Joseph Vanderbosch. Go to freedomdentalfortmyers.com.
Every day in business brings something new. So get the flexibility of our new mobile service designed for your small business. Introducing Comcast Business Mobile. You get the most reliable network with nationwide 5G included. And you can get unlimited data for just $30 per line per month when you get 4 lines, or mix and match data options.
Simplicity and savings, all from one provider. Get fast and reliable Comcast Business Internet and mobile for your small business today, with no line activation fees or term contract required. Plus, see how you can save up to $500 a year on your wireless bill when you switch. Call 1-800-501-6000 or go to ComcastBusiness.com today to learn more. Comcast Business, powering possibilities. Restrictions apply. Requires Comcast Business Internet. Taxes, fees, and other charges extra. Most reliable based on RootMetrics US report. Results vary. Not an endorsement. Compares pricing to top carriers. Reduced speeds after 20 gigabytes of usage. Actual savings vary. Call for details.
Manufactured in the USA, Plantation Shutters for You is your best choice for plantation shutters. Custom measured and installed just for you. Built to last forever. Call today for a free consultation. Discounts for all military and first responders. Also, if you support Biden, don't blink and call us. PlantationShuttersForYou.com.
Hi, Stuart Duncan here of Duncan's Diamonds. People come into our store here in Southwest Florida and are amazed by the selection of beautiful, fine jewelry and at exceptional prices. At Duncan's Diamonds, I will make sure personally that we give you the finest quality at the best possible prices. We get very excited about diamonds and are here to help you find that special diamond. We have the largest selection of magnificent and exclusive designer styles for you to choose from. Also, if you find a diamond or style on the internet, bring in a picture and we will get it or make it exactly to your specifications. And our prices and quality will exceed your expectations. I personally guarantee it. At Duncan's Diamonds, we will not be undersold by anyone, anywhere, or any place, and you can count on it. Come in and see us in Fort Myers on US 41, Gulf Coast Town Center, and in Naples at the Mercado Shopping Center.
Thank you for waking us all up out here, for all you do.
Thank you for giving us the voice.
For being out there helping to keep the constitutional republic.
I want to thank you for
your support for veterans in the military.
Educating us.
Standing up for conservatism.
Giving us the truth.
Daybreak with Drew Steele.
While so many around the country have consigned the people's rights to the graveyard, Florida has stood as freedom's vanguard. In Florida, we have protected the right of our citizens to earn a living, provided our businesses with the ability to prosper, fought back against unconstitutional federal mandates, and ensured our kids have the opportunity to thrive. Florida has become the escape hatch for those chafing under authoritarian, arbitrary, and seemingly never-ending mandates and restrictions. Even today, across the nation, we see students denied an education due to reckless, politically motivated school closures, workers denied employment due to heavy-handed mandates, and Americans denied freedoms due to a coercive biomedical apparatus. These unprecedented policies have been as ineffective as they have been destructive. They are grounded more in blind adherence to Fauci declarations than they are in the constitutional traditions that are the foundation of free nations. Florida is a free state.
Woo! There you go. And the governor, just a portion of the State of the State address from the governor of the great state of Florida, Ron DeSantis. We're going to talk more about this morning and get into more detail on the state of the state and some of the things that are going on here in the state of Florida. Matt Caldwell is going to join us at 8:05. We're going to really dig in on some pretty big topics that are going on right now as we head into the legislative session, especially the question about redistricting that I brought up yesterday and whether or not Republicans here in the state of Florida are just giving away to Democrats what seems to be the usual, which is just the Republicans acquiescing to whatever it is that Democrats pressure. I mean, that is exactly what Joe Biden yesterday was doing with the Voting Rights Act and saying, are you with good or are you with evil? Are you going to do what's right for the country or are you going to be with the evil people? You know, like this pressure against individuals so that they could be doxxed and then pressured themselves on social media and the like to quote unquote do the right thing. No. We're not going to fall for that kind of talk, that rhetoric, that hyperbolic statement that you're making. And we're going to do what's right for the country. And that is what's right for the constitutional republic that we are. Not this majority rules democracy, because that's what we are. And the majority says, no. And even when it comes to what the governor talked about there in how we are the free state of Florida and what makes us the free state of Florida, some of what this governor has been able to accomplish here is what he was talking about, the biomedical tyranny that's been going on. This idea that there's no discussion about therapies, that there's not to be any discussions about monoclonal antibodies, that there's not to be any discussions about anything except what the establishment and what these tyrannical leaders want you to push and press, and you can't speak of anything else. And some of the outrageous things that are being said, some of the funny things that are being said. Here's a perfect example. It was, who was it? It's Nikki Fried who did an answer to the state of the state. So there were like 10 different reporters standing around her as she's answering. And her comment on what the governor said was, under Governor Ron DeSantis, Florida is drifting towards authoritarianism. Yeah, it's and it was Christina Pushaw, who was a spokesperson for the governor, who was like saying on Twitter, yeah, everybody knows that the hallmark of authoritarianism is when leaders limit government power and protect the rights of individuals to make their own choices. But you do you, Nikki Fried. You do you. That's great. Hey, speaking of people who want to take away some of your rights and freedoms, I'm not suggesting that that there are some people like Dr. Fauci who want to do that. Well, and kind of, there's a little bit of tyranny going on when it comes to the medical side of issues and mandates and what we're allowed to speak of when it comes to therapies that we are told through that Project Veritas release yesterday. The military was talking about the fact that there are a couple of things that we have recognized that do work, like ivermectin and hydroxychloroquine and other things that, we're not allowed to name those things. But it is weird that the military documents that were leaked showed that ivermectin works throughout all phases of COVID. So, like, if you have it right now or you're just getting over it and you're not feeling too good, the thought of this military document document and others that have tested ivermectin is saying, yeah, through all these phases, it works. But we're not allowed to talk about it. And why? Why are we not allowed to say this? Because it's vaccines or nothing. Really? Why? Why is it vaccines or nothing? And you got Dr. Fauci, who's being questioned about this and other things by Rand Paul yesterday on Capitol Hill. A moment in time where the CDC director Walensky, together with the director there, Dr. Fauci, both on Capitol Hill, not one but two masks the CDC director's wearing. Not one but two masks, because everybody knows that you double mask up and... she's wearing two masks, and then Dr. Fauci not wearing any mask, but then putting a mask on, but then taking the mask off, because everybody knows that the Rona knows that if it's on Capitol Hill and it's coming out of, if it's the golden breath of the Fauci, then no way is it going to infect anybody. No. The golden breath of the Fauci just eliminates the vid right there on the spot, because, he does. So it's bad enough. It's bad enough that the Fauci got a little upset yesterday, Rand Paul going after him, and some other senators questioning him. One senator in particular, who is a medical doctor, a senator who is a medical doctor, who had a lot of questions for the Fauci that were not being answered to his satisfaction. And the Fauci doesn't like to be questioned. And so had a couple of things to say about him on a hot mic. You might be interested to hear the Fauci hot mic when this doctor, who is now a senator, he's also a doctor, is questioning some of the things that the Fauci is doing. And listen to this.
We look forward to reviewing. Totally incorrect.
Well,
we look forward to reviewing it.
Senator Marshall, Dr. Fauci has answered you. It is public information, and he's happy to give it to you if you would ask. Senator Moran.
What a moron. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so no big deal. I called him a moron and then used the Lord's name in vain, which is no big deal, but there's the Fauci who is all-knowing and the breath of freshness that only he could enjoy, and the Rona apparently doesn't spread when he speaks, or something to that effect. But anyway, Rand Paul had a bunch of questions for him, and not the least of which was about some of the questions of going after others. The Great Barrington Declaration, Dr. Bhattacharya, and others who looked into this early on in the pandemic and wanted to know the origins of the virus coming from Wuhan, yes or no, out of a lab, yes or no, and looking into that and some of the therapies and some of the other things about the virus. And listen, you're not allowed to do that. And so according to Rand Paul, the Fauci conspired with Dr. Francis Collins because they wanted to do what he called a quick and devastating takedown of these prominent epidemiologists, by the way, from Harvard and Stanford and Oxford. I guess it's not such a good thing to be from Harvard, Stanford, or Oxford if you're speaking out of turn. If you're speaking in turn and you're with the tyranny, then good for you. But yeah, and then was smearing them as quote unquote fringe, and then asks the question of the Fauci: listen, do you really think it's appropriate to use your $420,000 salary to attack scientists? Scientists. There's others besides you, Dr. Fauci, who disagree with you. And just, can we get an answer on that?
The email you're referring to was an email of Dr. Collins to me. If you look at the email
that you responded to and hurried up and said, I can do it. We got something in Wired magazine.
No. I think in usual fashion.
Now, let me stop. We got something in Wired magazine, so we've got them. We're going to go after them. We're going to call them out. We're going to say that they're fringe, and we're going to go to Wired magazine so that they'll put this out there so that Wired magazine will be able to say how the Fauci feels about these Harvard and Oxford and Stanford doctors. Epidemiologists, prominent ones, and how, listen, they're speaking out of turn, and we don't like that.
Senator, you are distorting everything about me.
Did you ever object to Dr. Collins' characterization of them as fringe? Did you write back to Dr. Collins and say, no, they're not fringe, they're esteemed scientists, and it would be beneath me
I did not
do that? You responded to him that you would do it, and you immediately got an article in Wired, and you sent it back to him and said, hey, look, I've got him. I nailed him in Wired of all scientific publications.
That's not what went on. There you go again. You just do the same thing every hearing.
That was your response. And this wasn't the only time. So your desire to take
You're
down
absolutely
people.
incorrect. As usual, Senator, you are incorrect almost everything you
Well,
said.
no, you deny, but the emails tell the truth of
The
this.
emails say exactly what Rand Paul is talking about, but the Fauci's not having it. No. You can't question him. He is science. Dr. Fauci, if you look up the word science, you see Dr. Fauci's face. Did you know that? Jake the Millennial, look that up. See if that's true. No, actually, it's not true, but he thinks it is.
This wasn't the only time. Your desire to take down those who disagree with you didn't stop with Harvard, Oxford, and Stanford. You conspired with Peter Daszak, who you communicated with privately, and other members of the scientific community that wrote opinion pieces for Nature. 5 of them signed a paper for Nature, an opinion piece. 17 signed a paper that called it conspiracy theory, the idea that the virus could have originated in the lab. Do you think words like conspiracy theory should be in a scientific paper?
Senator, I never used that word when I was referring to it. You're distorting virtually everything.
Did you communicate with the 5 scientists who wrote the opinion piece in Nature where they were describing, there's no way this could have come from the lab?
That was not me. Did
you talk with any of those scientists privately?
You keep distorting the truth. It is stunning how you do
Did you talk to any of the scientists privately
Yes.
who wrote the opinion? You did.
Well,
what were they telling you privately?
Well, let me explain. You're going back to that original discussion when I brought together a group of people to look at every possibility with an open mind.
No, he didn't bring people together with an open mind. It was written there in an email, and the evidence shows and proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that the Fauci did not like that people were going against the science, because he is science, and Rand Paul was calling him out over it. There's just no doubt about it. So it's all about personal attacks.
Do you think it's a great success what's happened so far? Do you think the lockdowns were good for our kids? Do you think we slowed down the death rate? More people have died now under President Biden than did under President Trump. You are the one responsible. You are the architect. You are the lead architect for the response from the government. And now 800,000 people have died.
Right.
So you think it's a winning success, what you've advocated for government?
Senator, first of all, if you look at everything that I said, you accuse me of in a monolithic way telling people what they need to do. Everything that I've said has been in support of the CDC guidelines. Wear a mask, get boosted.
And you've advocated to make it coercive
take
done
a look
through
at
force.
everything
You've
that I've
advocated that
said.
it be done by mandate.
Right.
You've advocated that your infallible opinion be dictated by law.
Right. So, again, Madam Chair, I would like just a couple of minutes because this happens all the time.
All right, there you go. And then he gets all upset about the what he calls the personal attacks. Did he or did he not? And he, again, obfuscates and he kind of tries to get around it and doesn't want to answer the question specifically. But then went after Rand Paul and talking about the fire Fauci on the website. I guess that somebody... he has threats upon his life because people are lying about him. That's the claim, right?
Harassment of my family and my children with obscene phone calls because people are lying about me. Now, I guess you could say, well, that's the way it goes. I can take the hit. Well, it makes a difference because, as some of you may know, just about 3 or 4 weeks ago, on December 21st, a person was arrested who was on their way from Sacramento to Washington, D.C. at a speed stop in Iowa. And the police asked him where he was going, and he was going to Washington, D.C. to kill Dr. Fauci. And they found in his car an AR-15 and multiple magazines of ammunition.
Listen, and that's a horrible thing, and it's horrible that somebody would do that. But again, we're deflecting here. We're not answering the questions. I think Rand Paul knows a thing or two about him and his family being threatened. And certainly there are people that are in the public eye that are going to be threatened. But again, that's not a good thing. That's not a positive that there are crazies out there that are doing things like this on both sides, whether it's on a baseball field or whether it is the Fauci, or whether it's Rand Paul. I mean, all of it is terrible. But again, deflecting and wants to make it about everything else except him and his policies.
He fired Dr. Fauci with a little box that says, Contribute here. You can do $5, $10, $20, $100. So you are making a catastrophic epidemic for your political gain.
And it was interesting that he had a snapshot of Fire Dr. Fauci, Fire Fauci, from his website, and then a little box with, hey, donate here, as if to make all of this about politics and political and fundraising. And he had the picture, and he held it up, at which time the Twitterverse made a meme out of it and said, couldn't agree more. Fire Fauci, as he's holding up the piece of paper, it says Fire Fauci. But it is interesting that he had all that prepared, as if he was going there. He knew he was going to go there. He knew Rand Paul was going to ask questions that he wasn't going to answer, that he didn't want to answer for. All the evidence, even recently, that has been out there about the leaked military documents that came out about all the things that they were withholding, including the origins of this virus and the fact that ivermectin works through all phases of COVID, but we're not allowed to talk about that. And even a Stanford study that has now come across. Now, I guess it depends on which Stanford professor says this. In the study that says the COVID survival rate for people under 20 is 99.9987%. The survival rate for COVID under 20, according to a Stanford study, is 99.9987%. But we gotta vax them up all up. We gotta make sure that they're mandated to be vaxxed all up. And we're doing things including halting society and the like for this. And people have a lot of questions as to why that is his policy, and so did Rand Paul. And good for Rand Paul for pushing back. And others as well, who realize where we are at this moment in time. 239-479-5592, the talk and text line. We stream live, drewsteele.com, the website, Steele has 3 E's. We appreciate you watching, subscribing to the podcast. Coming up in just a little bit, Brendan Leslie, Florida Conservative Voice, will be joining us. We'll talk about the state of the state and some other things that are going on. And also, Matt Caldwell is going to join us at 8:05 because we're going to dig into some issues. I want to know more about what's going on with the state and redistricting and whether or not Republicans in the legislature are giving up a lot to Democrats in the state. And why are we not reinforcing even more the fact that we are a red state and have to be stronger, as opposed to giving to a party that seems to enjoy the idea of fundamentally transforming and destroying the constitutional republic that we are. It's Daybreak 92.5, Fox News, right all along.
Need some inspiration? Don't look left. Look right. Here. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Pandemic, market drops, elections. Don't let the noise and fear distract you. Where do you go for clarity in uncertain times? I'm Alfie Townsend, Southwest Florida's financial planner. For experience, advice on planning for retirement, visit savingtheinvestor.com.
Hey, it's Tim Cooper with Health Plan Network. The open enrollment for Affordable Care Act plans is ongoing now until January 15th. The new 2022 plans have buried their benefits behind even higher deductibles with limited plan options. You can spend thousands of dollars out of your pocket before you see anything paid by those plans. There is another option. My Freedom of Choice plan puts most of your coverage up front, where you only meet a deductible if you're in a hospital, you pick your doctors, and it's 30 to 60% lower cost than Obamacare. If you're paying for your own health insurance, uninsured, on COBRA, or your employer coverage is too expensive, call me, Tim Cooper, at 239-268-6712. That's 239-268-6712, or go to healthplannetwork.net. That's healthplannetwork.net. And we can custom design a plan managed by you, not the government.
Hey guys, it's Robbie Raw. As an RN and health and fitness expert, I know that self-care from head to toe is so important for a healthy, fit lifestyle. One of my secrets for staying active, fit, and pain-free are my amazing art supports from the Good Feet store. It's not just about what shoes you wear, it's what's in them and how your body aligns from your feet on up. I'm telling you, these were a game changer for me. I am as active as ever, and I feel like myself again. If you have foot pain, knee, hip, or back pain, the first thing you should do is visit the Good Feet store for a free personalized fitting and test walk. I'm not going to stop living my best life anytime soon, nor should you. To be the best version of you, you need to take care of yourself, and the Good Feet store can make that happen. And by the way, When you feel great, you look great, and that's the raw truth. Learn more and find the location nearest you at goodfeet.com.
At Duncan's Diamonds, we are obsessed with finding you a diamond as unique as your love. As direct diamond importers, we traveled the world to find pieces of unbeatable value and quality. We have 30 times the selection of a typical jewelry store. From enchanting engagement rings to previously enjoyed Rolex timepieces, we have a special something for everyone.
Hi, I'm Stuart Duncan from Duncan's Diamonds. We have an unparalleled passion for bringing you the best in diamonds and jewelry. We are here to make this spectacular manageable with expert guidance, exceptional discounts, and unmatched financing programs.
With no middleman, we're able to offer prices 30 to 40% below the rest.
We will not be undersold by anyone, anytime, anywhere, and you can count on it. Come see us today.
Duncan's Diamonds. It's worth the drive to give the gift of a lifetime.
US 41, Gulf Coast Town Center, and Naples at Mercado.
Your new home is calling you to live the good life, starting now. And Riverhall is where it all starts. A true paradise. Riverhall is one of the Gulf Coast's most exclusive master plan communities, with homes priced from the 500s to the 800s. Upscale country club living, complete with a Davis Love III Championship golf course, all waiting for you. Here's to finally finding the perfect place. Here's to home. Riverhall is just 20 minutes east of Fort Myers in the River Shores District. Come see model homes now. Visit liveriverhall.com.
Imagine replacing your old kitchen with the kitchen of your dreams. Brand new custom-made cabinet doors. Drawer fronts, hand-finished by true craftsmen. Designer hardware, new hinges, and everything installed beautifully in less than a week, start to finish. Expensive? No. To the contrary, with refacing by Cornerstone, you'll save so much, we should really talk about your master bathroom, too. Go for wow. Go for Cornerstone.
Let's hear from Dr. Johnston at 596-BACK.
People who suffer with back or neck problems, whether that's pain, numbness, or weakness, deal with something that can be frustrating. Pain wears us down. It can affect our relationships with family and friends. It's not fun to be around someone who's always complaining about their backs. Don't resign yourself to having to live with pain. In my office, Johnston Spinal Care, I successfully treat the worst of the worst, those who get injections, nerve-burning procedures, or even surgery. And now they're back, golfing and living life. If there's a treatment that is extremely effective for sciatica, stenosis, scoliosis, or neuropathy, wouldn't you want to see if it can help you? Non-surgical spinal decompression is now in Southwest Florida. Safe and painless, more than just a temporary fix, long-lasting relief that can finally heal the condition, regardless of age. Take the time right now to call my Medicare-friendly office for a no-charge telephone consultation about spinal decompression. Johnston Spinal Care, 596-BACK, 596-BACK. That's 596-2225.
It's a new year, and for businesses, that means a new start. Whatever the year ahead holds, now Comcast Business is making it easy to get going with the Ready, Set, Save sale. Get started with fast and reliable internet and voice for $35 each a month when you buy both. And save with a 2-year price guarantee. Switching is easy with flexible installation times. And you'll also get backing from an expert team 24/7, so you can focus on planning the year ahead. Plus, for even more value, ask how to get free installation and 1 month free with a qualifying bundle. Get a great deal for your business with the Ready, Set, Save sale today. Comcast Business, powering possibilities. Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. New Comcast Business 35 megabits per second internet and one voice mobility customers only. Early termination fee applies. Requires EcoBill and autopay. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. 1 month free and free installation offer ends 2/2022. Call or go online for details.
The new year means new opportunity to save money on your insurance.
Hi, this is Brian Chapman at Chapman Insurance Group. Now is the perfect time to take a look at your plans for the year ahead. If you're considering a move, getting a new car, have new drivers hitting the road, or just want to reevaluate your coverage and costs, give us an opportunity to quote your home, auto, business, or flood policy. At Chapman Insurance Group, we can save you money for the same or better coverage.
Visit CIGFlorida.com or call an office near you today. Naples, Fort Myers, Cape Coral, Port Charlotte, and Punta Gorda.
This break is sponsored by Cornerstone Builders. Give us the opportunity to wow you.
Wink News, traffic.
Pondella Road still backed up because of a crash early this morning out on Barrett Road, right near April Lane. And April Lane has been closed off to traffic with FPL crews trying to clear up power lines that fell in the roadway because of the crash involving a SUV that went into a concrete power pole, knocking out power to some in that area. So seeing a right lane eastbound still blocked off with crews out there on scene along with law enforcement trying to get things cleared up and get the vehicle out of the way. We're also watching a crash heading through I-75 mile marker 141 on the exit ramp to Palm Beach Boulevard in Fort Myers. No roadblock there. It's off to the right-hand side near the ramp. Also dealing with a crash on 75 southbound in mile marker 125 heading south toward Corkscrew Road in Estero. And that one also is off to a left-hand shoulder. In Estero, a crash blocking two westbound lanes of Estero Parkway at Three Oaks Parkway right near Three Oaks Middle School, Elementary School. And in Collier County, North Naples, we have a crash causing major backups and roadblock on westbound Immokalee Road near the intersection of Collier Boulevard. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Therese O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Another day of above average temperatures with highs in the upper 70s across all of southwest Florida. Expect things to remain dry as far as humidity is concerned, but still rain chances popping back up into the forecast as early as this morning. Very low chances this morning, but eventually a few stray showers and even weaker thunderstorms will likely form in the early evening to early overnight hours tonight. Eventually, tomorrow morning, we'll see a second round of rain and scattered thunderstorms. Those will be ahead of a cold front that will dry us out for the remainder of this week. By the start of next week, expect highs to be into the upper 60s and lower 70s to start things off. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Nash Rhodes.
It's all right here at 92.5 Fox News. We've been right all along.
For the pizza guy.
Sweet, just in time. Game's about to start.
For the gotta run to the store guy.
The dip! Where are they? Hurry!
For the I have to take my kid to a birthday party today parent. The NFL playoffs are not spent on a recliner or a bar stool watching the games. Raiders, Bengals. Saturday at 4 on 103.3 and 105.9 Fox Sports Radio. 92.5 Fox News and the Fox Sports Radio app.
It's Fred Kobe with your Kobe Cooling Tip of the Day. You know, when I was a kid, you could drive a go-kart down Cypress Lake Drive and never pass a car. Now, I can't even see the sidewalk from the traffic. Southwest Florida has really grown, and the choice for air conditioning contractors has grown with it. When you're looking for a contractor, find a local family-owned business with the owner as the license holder. Use only companies with NATE certified mechanics, the only true certification in this business. Use families that invest locally and not conglomerates owned by some foreign international company. In other words, use Kobe Cooling. Call us at 239-482-1542. When you think of air conditioning companies, we hope you'll think of Kobe Cooling. No nonsense and no pressure. We're the company your neighbors use. License CACO 57313. Kobe, the most trusted name in this business since 1949, locally owned and operated.
With each breath, allergens, germs, and viruses get trapped in your nose. Now, there's a simple, easy, and effective way to clean your nose and protect your health. It's called Navage. Navage. Available at Navage.com.
Dial star 2020. France Eye Care.
Trey Radel, your host of The Drive here for my friends at France Eye Care. You have blurry vision? You ever been told that maybe you have cataracts? Well, there is a solution that will provide you with a new view in 2022, a France Lifestyle Lens. I have family members that dealt with their cataracts with Dr. France and his expert team, and they love the results. Their lives have been changed, very similar to the way that I think that my life was changed after having the LASIK procedure with them. So here's the deal. Whether it's multifocal clear vision that you're after or an extended depth of focus for driving at night, for example, whatever you need, you can trust your eyes to a France Eye Care solution. So schedule your cataract evaluation today. Call France Eye Care today to schedule a cataract evaluation. Just dial star 2020 from your cell phone or dial 239-418-0999.
Dial star 2020. France Eye Care.
Searching everywhere for great prices on appliances? No, you're not, because you have better things to do. Besides, Good Deals has it for less, and they have plenty of items in stock despite shortages everywhere else. Remember, Good Deals guarantees the lowest price on everything they sell. Find a lower price anywhere, and Jay will beat it, guaranteed. Visit one of the showrooms in Fort Myers, Naples, and Cape Coral, or shop online at GoodDealsAppliances.com.
Good Deals Appliances. Have we got a deal for you?
lunch with Clay and Buck at noon, right after Glenn Beck at 9. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, 239-479-5592, the talk and text line, streaming live, drewsteele.com, the website, Steele S for Ease. We always appreciate you watching and subscribing to the podcast. A little bit of the governor from yesterday. Let's see if I can pull up some of this audio right here.
Now, as a state, we cannot be party to what is effectively a massive human smuggling operation run by the federal government. Companies who are facilitating the movement of illegal aliens from the southern border to Florida should be held accountable.
Yes, they should be held accountable. Just part of what the governor was saying yesterday, and being concerned about massive human smuggling going on by the federal government, and being concerned about dropping off illegals here in the state, and it has been happening, and some other things that he was talking about. Brendan Leslie joining us right now, Florida Conservative Voice, flconservativevoice.com, the website, to talk about this and some other things that were going on. Brendan, first of all, pretty amazing yesterday, that State of the State speech. There was a lot to love.
Oh, yeah. And you know what's the best part about DeSantis is he's literally saying and doing the things that we've been begging and pleading the Republicans to do forever. So it's nice, and it's a nice change of pace to have someone who's actually doing what he should be doing. And that's why he's viewed as unpopular with the left, because he's actually effective in pushing a conservative agenda.
Yep. Some of what he said yesterday as well here.
While so many around the country have consigned the people's rights to the graveyard, Florida has stood as freedom's vanguard. In Florida, we have protected the right of our citizens to earn a living, provided our businesses with the ability to prosper, fought back against unconstitutional federal mandates, and ensured our kids have the opportunity to thrive. Florida has become the escape hatch for those chafing under authoritarian, arbitrary, and seemingly never-ending mandates and restrictions. Even today, across the nation, we see students denied an education due to reckless, politically motivated school closures, workers denied employment due to heavy-handed mandates, and Americans denied freedoms due to a coercive biomedical apparatus.
Yeah, I'm just going to stop there for a second. And I like that he's been talking about that. He covered so much ground just in this one section of the State of the State, Brendan. And, you know, you had a story, by the way, in Florida as Conservative Voice, flconservativevoice.com, talking about the pressuring of the FDA and the issues of COVID tests and shelf life extensions. Can you talk a little bit about that story?
Yeah, so pretty much the only scandal, and it was a fake news scandal created by fake news reporter Dave Elias here in Fort Myers, actually. He colluded with Nikki Fried to put out this ridiculous scandal saying that governor had this secret stockpile of COVID-19 tests and he let them expire. That was the words they were using. So, yeah, if that was true, it would be kind of a messed up thing, but it's not true. And in fact, Dave Elias, all he did was just amplify Nikki Fried, who is a compulsive liar. And it was actually very shocking. I was speaking to the governor's people, and he was like, our past history with Dave Elias has been good. And we're very surprised and disappointed that he would be so fake. And I want to be perfectly clear here, guys. Southwest Florida has one of the worst reporters in Florida, and that's Dave Elias, and pushing this story. So we went out and fact-checked, because that's what we do at Florida's Conservative Voice. Right. And we found out that these tests were bought months ago for the Delta surge. There was no need for them. We ran out of need because we had, everything went down for several months. Yeah. So no one was requesting these tests from the governor. So what do you do with these tests? You put them in a warehouse. But the wording that they've used and Nikki used is that they stockpiled them in this hidden warehouse. No. There was no use for them. So they originally expired in September. And they asked the FDA if they can get an extension on them. And so they extended them, the expiration date, into this past December. And again, once Omicron started happening, they just didn't get to those tests. And then they expired on December 26th. But the governor being due diligent and making sure we are over prepared, got the second extension on them, so they now expire in March, and they will be going out to places in need of them.
Yeah, there's a couple of stories about that, right? About this media outlets and some of the fake news legacy media outlets trying to spin stories or create stories or, well, lie about some of the things that the governor is doing, whether it is this issue of COVID tests or even the monoclonal distribution. There was a story out of the Miami Herald about that too, right? What about that one?
Oh yeah, we caught a reporter right in his tracks. Miami Herald is just as bad as Fake News Davy. They put out this guy.
Wait a minute, did you say Fake News Davy?
Yeah, that's my new nickname for Dave Elias, Fake
All
News
right,
Davy.
go ahead.
So the Miami Herald is just one extension of the Democratic Party. We've reported countless times on this organization because all they do is lie and attack the governor. So we had this reporter that amplified how the government, the state, sent a small treatment center about 200 vials of monoclonals. They were sent to them because they were open on Christmas Day and treating COVID patients. That's why they got them. But they tried to make it seem like, a very crafty reporting. They didn't say it directly, but it did fuel the speculation on the left because they're trying to attack Governor DeSantis with whatever they can.
Right.
That the governor sent those treatments to that small treatment center over the hospital because maybe there's a donor that donated to Governor Ron DeSantis. Very similar. Remember the story when they pushed out with 60 Minutes?
Yep.
The $100,000 from Publix.
Yeah.
And that's why Governor DeSantis chose Publix to use to do the vaccines. Similar type story.
Right.
Well, what this reporter did, or didn't do, I should say, is wait to get an explanation from the state before amplifying this, putting out the story. He reached out to the Department of Health. They didn't give him a deadline. And then in the article says the Department of Health refuses to answer us. So the press secretary for the Department of Health called him out on Twitter. He's like, I didn't refuse to answer you. I said I was going to get right back to you. Sends a screenshot of his email. He's like, and you never gave me a deadline, so I didn't know when to get back to you by. I was busy. Sorry.
That's typically what we see so often when it comes to, again, so many people in this state are trying their best, their level best, to go after this governor. They see all the success. They're trying to chip away. 22 also equals 24. Don't make no mistake about it. That anything they can do to chip away at 22, knowing probably what the results are going to be, hopefully, with 22, is also something that they're going to load up on and repeat and repeat and repeat the lies. They're not going to stop lying. They're not going to stop or back away from what they've put out. They're going to go back to those stories as if they're legit because they don't take the stories down. That's the trick, right, Brendan? The trick is that they've put the story out. Remember, this is on a federal level. This is what the federal bureaucracy has done in the Russia collusion hoax and what a lot of the fake news legacy media does. And you could probably speak to this better than I could, Brendan, and it's this. They've already put a story out there. They don't take the story down, and they're not going to correct it. So when you get to 24 or you get close to 22, they'll go back to the story as if it is legit because it's still up on the interwebs. It hasn't been taken down. It hasn't been corrected. So people will still refer to it as if it's legit, but it's not. That's part of the trick.
And listen, it does work. Those attacks do work. There are left-leaning or moderate people that might have been on the fence about voting for Governor DeSantis, and then they see something like this, and then instantly they hate it. And that's the whole point of the story. And you know,
I know
it's really annoying because Fake News Davy, this Miami Herald, they don't care. They don't care.
Yeah.
They just care about looking good and doing it. And so he's been taking a victory lap for this because, oh my God, I had a story go all over Florida. Yeah, that's because the Democrats used you.
Brendan Leslie joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, flconservativevoice.com, Florida's conservative voice. Hey, one other thing that the governor said yesterday, and I want to bring this up here. Listen to this.
These unprecedented policies have been as ineffective as they have been destructive. They are grounded more in blind adherence to Fauci declarations than they are in the constitutional traditions that are the foundation of free nations. Florida is a free state.
Nice. So there's the governor talking about the tyranny that is the biomedical security state that he's concerned about, rejection of that here in the state of Florida and the tyranny. And so Nikki Fried was asked for comment. I don't know if you saw this or not. So here's Nikki Fried's comment on what he was talking about with regard to protecting individual rights by banning mask and vaccine mandates in the state of Florida. So Nikki Fried says, quote, "What he has done is gone just the opposite direction. By him banning, that is the lack of freedom. And so when he goes and tries to rally this base, he is forgetting the most fundamentals, and that is the freedom of choice. And when he makes a statement about banning, whatever it is, that is a dog whistle to his community and talking about freedom." What?
These are the same people that call him a fascist because they're just idiots.
But the funny part is, but Brendan, the funny part is, tell me what she said. Like, she doesn't even know. Like, that's like Pete Buttigieg when he gets on a microphone and starts talking, or even when they're talking about critical race theory and they're trying to blind you with these big words and they spin you around in circles and you're like, oh, they sound like they know exactly what they're talking. And they say nothing. They say absolutely nothing.
She literally said DeSantis doesn't believe in freedom because he's talking about freedom. Is pretty much what she said. And you know what's funny about Nikki Fried? I've spoken to a lot of people that personally know Nikki, and they all tell me that the same thing. This is just a fake charade. She's just putting up the biggest fake charade ever. And I'm like, wow, that's really disappointing, because to me, that means you're a bad person, because that means you're lying. And they're just going to say whatever they can to, again, the media is going to amplify her voice, and that's going to hurt the voters. And she knows what she's doing. She's doing that deliberately because that's her only chance, if she even has a chance.
So, all right. So what you're saying is that when you talk to people, that this whole thing, the way she attacks the governor and the things that she says, is a charade. That really, behind the scenes,
that she's not this crazy. That's what they say.
Which is even worse. So that's
to me, person. You're a bad person. So is there money involved? Is she being paid by someone, or is she going to make out big time after this race? Those are the questions that I naturally want to ask when I'm being told that she's fake. And I'm like, well, if she's being fake, it's because someone is incentivizing her to be fake. And then what is that incentive?
Yeah. Well, there's a lot to ask and a lot to try to figure out, and we will continue to do it, and I know you will as well. FLConservativeVoice.com is the website, Florida's Conservative Voice. Brendan Leslie joining us on Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News. All right, my friend, we'll see you next week, Tuesday. Let's make it next Tuesday, shall we?
Yes, we will move on to Tuesday. Same time. Can't wait.
All right, we'll see you then. All right, my friend. All the best. All right, there he goes. 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line. We stream live, drewsteele.com, the website. Steele has 3 E's. We appreciate you watching and subscribing to the podcast and our channel on Rumble. All right, Jake, are you ready to go? You ready to do this? I need Jake's approval. Jake the Millennial, seal of approval. Give me your seal.
Sealed and delivered.
Okay, all right. Well, that's much better than impersonating a seal. Can you impersonate a seal? What does a seal sound like?
I couldn't tell you.
You don't know what a seal sound like. You don't know how to make the sound of a seal.
I'm not doing that. No.
Are you? Well, are you not doing it? Do you know? Do you know how to do it, or are you just?
I'm pretty sure I could get close.
All right. So 2 things we learned today about Jake the Millennial before we go to Drew's College, and it's this. Number 1. That Jake wants to do a seal sound effect, but doesn't want to do it right now because he feels like if he doesn't do it properly, he'd be embarrassed. And then the second thing we learned this morning is that when it comes to Girl Scout cookies, there is absolutely, positively no replacement for Thin Mints.
All right, let's do Drew's College now.
All right, it's Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD. Let's take caller number 9 right now at 239-479-5592. 9th caller, you will play Drew's College, and you will win, just for playing, a $35 gift certificate to Alda's Diner, otherwise known as Alda's Restaurant and Bar, at the corner of 951 and Vanderbilt Beach Road in Naples. It's a fantastic place for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You can even talk politics there. No worries at all. A great place to be. Alda's Diner will get you that gift certificate. Caller 9 right now on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along with traffic. Here's to Ray O'Shea.
Pondella Road still backed up because of a crash early this morning out on Barrett Road, right near April Lane. And April Lane has been closed off to traffic with FPL crews trying to clear up power lines that fell in the roadway because of the crash involving a SUV that went into a concrete power pole, knocking out power to some in that area. So seeing a right lane eastbound still blocked off with crews out there on scene along with law enforcement trying to get things cleared up and get the vehicle out of the way. We're also watching a crash heading through I-75 mile marker 141 on the exit ramp to Palm Beach Boulevard in Fort Myers. No roadblock there. It's off to the right-hand side near the ramp. Also dealing with a crash on 75 southbound in mile marker 125 heading south toward Corkscrew Road in Estero. And that one also is off to a left-hand shoulder. In Estero, a crash blocking two westbound lanes of Estero Parkway at Three Oaks Parkway right near Three Oaks Middle School, Elementary School. And in Collier County, North Naples, we have a crash causing major backups and roadblock on westbound Immokalee Road near the intersection of Collier Boulevard. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Therese O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Highs climb into the upper 70s this afternoon under partly cloudy skies. Low end rain chances throughout the morning before better chances come in the early evening hours into the early overnight hours tonight. Eventually, a second round of spotty to scattered showers will form tomorrow morning ahead of a cold front that will dry us out for the remainder of this week. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Nash Rhodes.
The right place for local talk. Drew now. Trey for the drive at 5. 92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
Hi, I'm Ty Lassiter, CEO and one of the managing partners of Key City Capital. And just recently, we held an in-person investor meeting right here in Naples and had over 100 attendees show up to learn about building their wealth rapidly. Key City Capital has been actively investing in cash-flowing real estate for over 10 years and generating safe, secure, double-digit returns for our investors. Key City Capital was founded to build and preserve wealth for our clients, as well as provide assistance with tax mitigation. And over 100 people just can't be wrong.
Call Key City Capital today to reserve your spot for our next dinner event. Call 239-330-2080. That's 239-330-2080. Or check us out online at kcap925.com. That's kcap925.com.
With customer service being top priority, visit United Fidelity Bank at 14241 Metro Parkway and let them help you save and grow with market-leading CD rates. Shop, compare, invest with United Fidelity Bank's 18-month CD currently earning a 0.75% APY. The difference is United Fidelity. A penalty may be imposed for early withdrawal. Minimum deposit of $1,000 required to open CD. CD renews automatically to a standard 18-month term at the rate in effect at time of renewal, unless instructed otherwise.
Well, hello there. I am the Guitar Hotel. I have over 3,000 of the newest slot machines and nearly 200 table games with real cards and real dealers. Come experience my incredible lineup of restaurants, bars, and of course, Hard Rock Live. Or spend a day soaking up the sun in my 18 acres of poolside paradise. I can't wait to meet you. Visit hardrockholly.com to find out more.
If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Hi, this is Earl Ron, president of New South Window. If you need new windows or doors for your home, heads up, this message is for you. New South is having a one-day factory sale, this Saturday only in our factory showroom. 40% off high-performance award-winning windows, 40% off energy-efficient windows and patio doors, 40% off our factory direct products installed. Bring in your measurements for on-the-spot pricing or call today. One day only, this Saturday from 9 till 4. New South Windows are made in Florida, for Florida homes, by Florida workers, and we guarantee them for life. Please visit us at newsouthwindow.com.
92.5 Fox News.
Drew's College of Political Knowledge is presented by France Eye Care. Better vision, better life.
It's Drew's
All right, let's go to Bill. Bill's in Fort Myers. Hello there, Bill.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning. It's Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you're on a PhD or associate's degree. Question Williams starts right now. Do you know who the Vice President of the United States is right now as we speak?
Oh, Kamala Harris.
That is correct, sir. All right, you got an associate's. We'll see if we get a bachelor's degree on this question. What is the supreme law of the land? The supreme law of the land is?
Constitution.
That is correct, sir. All right, you got a bachelor's. We'll see if we get a master's degree on this question. Who's the former Florida governor who ran against Donald Trump for the 2016 presidential nomination?
Wasn't Charlie Crist?
No, it's Jeb Bush. Jeb Bush,
that's right.
that guy. All right, well, let's see if you get a master's degree on this question. You know, under that Constitution, the supreme law of the land, there are very, very, very few powers that belong to the federal government. That's the way we have it set up, right? Can you name just one power of the federal government? Just one.
Taxation.
Okay, so they have the power to print money, the power to declare war, the power to create an army, the power to make treaties.
Power to declare war.
Yeah, that's what we're looking for. One of those. All right, well, no worries. Listen, congratulations. You got yourself a degree of some kind, and it's a very good one, no matter what it is, because you played Drew's College, and so it's always a good thing. And you got a gift certificate to Alda's Diner that is in Naples at the corner of 951 and Vanderbilt Beach Road. So stay right there, Bill. Congratulations. We appreciate you playing.
Have a great day.
Yeah, you do the same. Don't go anywhere. Don't leave us. Don't leave us. Matt Caldwell's scheduled to join us coming up in just a couple of more minutes, and we will talk about some of the issues that are happening right now as we get ready for and are underway session in Tallahassee. So there's some big issues that we're going to dive into coming up next. Stay break 92.5 Fox News right all along.
.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Well, is the little pill working yet?
Men, these days could be a thing of the past. Hello, this is Dr. Lou Spangler at Neogenics. Recent advances in non-surgical treatment for erectile dysfunction, combining high-frequency shockwave therapy with the P-Shot, which utilizes platelet-rich plasma, can help restore your virility. These treatments help restore blood flow to the penis and rejuvenate penile tissues, resulting in longer, stronger, firmer, more satisfying erections. Both treatments are simple, in-office procedures, and there is no pain and no downtime. You can resume all normal activities immediately after treatment, including sexual activity. Men, you don't have to suffer anymore. If you have erectile dysfunction or simply want to improve your sexual function, call Neogenics at 239-277-9999 for a free consultation. That's Neogenics at 277-9999. Again, 277-9999.
Glenn Beck gets it right and blows the left out of sight.
This show is known for its scientific breakthroughs.
Voice of science!
Are you just causing all of this fear so you can stay in control of everything?
You don't want to miss the next Glenn Beck program. Today, 9 till noon on Southwest Florida's 92.5 Fox News. Right all along. 92.5 Fox News.
They're going back to school. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Kids in Chicago are returning after 5 days off following a teacher walkout that ended with increased COVID testing. And now the Biden administration plans to send a lot of tests to schools nationwide.
5 million free rapid tests will go to schools each month. Those are expected to ship out by the end of January. Another 5 million PCR tests will be available right away. And Health and Human Services is sending out what they call surge units to get free testing out to hard-hit communities.
Fox's Jill Nato. COVID's also causing more supply chain issues. You might have noticed emptier grocery store shelves, especially in the meat department. The Consumer Brands Association says about 15% of grocery items are unavailable now. Days before the Australian Open, unvaccinated tennis star Novak Djokovic is waiting for a final decision if he can stay and play as he admits to some unforced errors. Fox's Simon Owen has an update live.
Dave, Novak Djokovic has admitted he attended a photo shoot and newspaper interview last month despite knowing he'd just tested positive for COVID-19. He calls it an error of judgment. In a statement, the men's tennis world number one also says his team made a mistake on his entry form for Australia, failing to declare that he'd travelled in the previous 2 weeks. It's the latest twist as Australia considers cancelling Djokovic's visa. Dave?
Simon, there's a new round of talks today with Russia over fears it may invade Ukraine with a troop buildup at the border. This time the discussions are at NATO headquarters in Brussels. President Biden's making a hard push for the Democrats' election reform plan.
I believe that the threat to our democracy is so grave that we must find a way to pass these voting rights bills.
He supports changing Senate rules on this issue to unblock a Republican filibuster, but the Democrat who refused to go along with the Biden social spending bill, Joe Manchin, not eager to change that Senate rule.
Getting rid of the filibuster doesn't make it work better.
America's listening to Fox News.
In the morning and at night, we're the station that gets it right. 92.5 WFSX Estero. Fox News. Right all along.
This news update is presented by New South Window Solutions. Find them online at newsouthwindow.com.
Wink News. Traffic.
Dealing with several major crashes across Southwest Florida right now. We still have Pondella Road blocked off in the eastbound right-hand lane because of an earlier crash involving a vehicle into a power pole. Crews are working to get power restored in that area and get the scene cleared. So we're seeing a lot of backups eastbound on Pondella, heading toward Barrett Road near the crash scene. Another crash in North Fort Myers over on Business 41 North Tamiami Trail near Easy Street. That's right near Lazy Days Village. If you're heading that direction, both sides of 41 are backed up, it looks like, right near where Business 41 meets US 41. And in Charlotte County, a deadly crash involving a pedestrian hit by a vehicle that's blocking all southbound lanes at Melbourne Street, which is the northern end of the 41 bridge crossing the Peace River into Fisherman's Village. So you'll want to take I-75 instead. You can get there via Harborview Road if you're in Port Charlotte right now. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Teresa O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Another day of above average temperatures with highs in the upper 70s across all of southwest Florida. Expect things to remain dry as far as humidity is concerned, but still rain chances popping back up into the forecast as early as this morning. Very low chances this morning, but eventually a few stray showers and even weaker thunderstorms will likely form in the early evening to early overnight hours tonight. Eventually, tomorrow morning, we'll see a second round of rain and scattered thunderstorms. Those will be ahead of a cold front that will dry us out for the remainder of this week. By the start of next week, expect highs to be into the upper 60s and lower 70s to start things off. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Nash Rhodes.
Does 92.5 Fox News have a live stream? You bet. Go to rightallalong.net.
Do you really want to go through another year with that awful joint pain? Listen, don't do it. Resolve right now to get yourself moving again for 2022. Hey, it's Drew Steele. It's time to call QC Kinetics. Non-surgical regenerative treatments for joint pain. We're talking lasting results using natural biologics. No surgery, no pain meds, no steroids, and no downtime. This is really exciting stuff. Regenerative, restorative treatments that actually encourage your body to heal itself using highly concentrated natural biologics. Patients rave about it for hip pain relief, knee pain relief, shoulder and back pain relief. Look, don't let them keep giving you steroids. And don't let them tell you surgery is your only option. Get a free second opinion at QC Kinetics. Do it now. And imagine life in 22 without pain. Call the local medical professionals at QC Kinetics now. 239-893-PAIN. 239-893-PAIN. 239-893-PAIN.
Hello, I'm Brian Resney, president of Resney Wealth Management and host of the Resney Wealth Report and TV show on the weekends. Investors come to my TV and radio shows to learn and to get educated so they can make better decisions about their retirement and their portfolio. What's your risk management strategy? Are you willing to subject your portfolio to another massive decline in a set it and forget it strategy, or are you looking for a difference? Listen to my show Sunday mornings, 10 to noon on 92.5 Fox News Radio.
No more clutter. That's when you make things happen, so resolutions can become reality. Give your family a gift for the future. A beautiful new space reimagined by our designers and you. Your home rejuvenation from Closet Factory comes with less stress and better rest included. Our business is designed around you. Whether in person or virtual, creating a perfect space for you is our goal. That's how we build it at Closet Factory.
The new year means new opportunity to save money on your insurance.
Hi, this is Brian Chapman at Chapman Insurance Group. Now is the perfect time to take a look at your plans for the year ahead. If you're considering a move, getting a new car, Have new drivers hitting the road, or just want to reevaluate your coverage and costs? Give us an opportunity to quote your home, auto, business, or flood policy. At Chapman Insurance Group, we can save you money for the same or better coverage.
Visit CIGFlorida.com or call an office near you today. Naples, Fort Myers, Cape Coral, Port Charlotte, and Punta Gorda.
Thank you for waking us all up out here. For all you do.
Thank you for giving us the voice.
For being out there helping to keep the constitutional republic. I want to thank you for your support for veterans in the military. Educating us. Standing up for conservatism. Giving us the truth.
Daybreak with Drew Steele.
Well, good morning, Southwest Florida. So glad you're here. 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line. We stream live, drewsteele.com, the website. Steele has 3 E's. Thank you for watching, subscribing to the podcast, and to our channel on Rumble. Coming up this morning, hopefully we'll have time to play some of the audio from Ted Cruz. Pretty shocking. He wants to know who's Ray Epps. He asked at a Senate committee yesterday, asking the FBI a lot of questions. Hey, listen, was the FBI involved? Did anybody, any FBI assets there during January 6th? Anybody get arrested during January 6th for doing anything? And by the way, who's Ray Epps? A very important question that he asked. And already there are those on the committee in the House who are trying to spin the January 6th committees to spin out of it. So just because they're just by spinning out of it or trying to say that there's nothing to see, you move along, Ray Epps, to stop with the name of this person, tells you that we need to not stop talking about Ray Epps and the name of this individual. So I'll explain more coming up with that. Plus, we'll get into some of what was said with Dr. Fauci and Rand Paul I don't think it's part deux. It's part, I don't know how you say in French. How do you say part 4 or 5? I don't know. Maybe Matt Caldwell. Matt Caldwell joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Matt Caldwell, in French, how do you say part 5? Do you know how to say that?
I mean, in Spanish, it'd be like cinco.
Yeah, but I didn't ask you. I didn't ask you Spanish. I said it's French. So it's deux. We don't know. We have no idea. But that's okay. This isn't a French lesson. I'm not putting you on the spot to see how little you know about French. That's not what we're doing here. All right, a lot of issues I want to get to with you this morning, and I want to go right into this one because yesterday I talked about it, I teased it, and I'll let you kind of dive into this, and then I'll give you my thoughts on what I read out of. So Red State had this article. And it talks about Florida Republicans try to surrender on redistricting, giving Democrats new hope. Now, you read the article, and it talks about the new maps that are being drawn up and what can and can't happen here in the state, according to this article. But maybe there's a little bit more here. So what has been the concern with the redistricting, the drawing of the maps here in the state, according to the article, and your thoughts on what was said?
Well, a couple of comments. First of all, one of the theses he has in that article is that Democrats in Illinois and New Jersey do this, so we should do it too. And any time that's somebody's argument, I really get pretty suspicious because we're the party of principle. We should be looking at what the Constitution says, and what our Florida Constitution says about this does make it a challenging question. Voters adopted in 2010 the amendment called Fair Districts. One of the restrictions is you can't purposely draw a map to benefit a political party, a political outcome. You're supposed to draw maps based on objective standards, geography, political subdivisions, counties and cities, and then let the chips fall where they may. And you layer into this that back in the last cycle, you had a Florida Supreme Court that was moderate to liberal, and the majority smacked down the Florida Senate back in 2016, threw out their map, adopted a much more liberal map in opposition to it. So there's a lot of sting still left in that in the staff level. Now, we all know that Governor DeSantis got elected. He replaced those liberals. We have a solid constitutionalist majority on our state Supreme Court. So it really comes down to how are you going to approach this question? One other thing that I think is fascinating about redistricting, and I'm 100% a term limits guy. I'm not going to back away from my position on that. But because we have 8-year term limits in the legislature, this is the one issue happening every 10 years where most of the people who vote on it each time have never actually dealt with the question before. I mean, you come from a medical background or a banking background, an insurance background, you may be a teacher. Okay, you can show up and you know those issues, you can work on them, you can argue them. redistricting is a really specific discipline. And most of the folks that serve in the process, there's a lot of people that will get elected to the legislature and never get a chance to ever vote on it, much less learn how to deal with it. So it becomes staff driven, and there's choices that have to be made. And I think here's where the article does have a point. It seems like this much more staff driven process is being too cautious. They're not looking for reasonable constitutional opportunities and kind of just taking a push on the whole map when it comes to congressional districts in particular.
Right. So for those that don't know, and what this article was describing is the maps that are being drawn up right now. I guess it's 16 to 12, Republican to Democrat. That's what the map pretty much represents, either one of the ones that are being presented. And so the article is saying, well, why are they not going full bump? Like, why not make it 21 to 7 Republicans? Why not really strengthen this? And this was the argument that they were making and that you were talking about with regard to, listen, Democrats do this kind of thing all the time. Why are we not doing this? And then, but this is an interesting point that we have to talk about, and it has to do with this. It seems vague, does it not? The idea of fair districting, because what is the right number? Who gets to dictate what the right number is that you can go to where it doesn't become political? And now remember, and again, Republicans are not going to rule the roost, if you will, forever. They're not going to be in charge of the House and Senate, and you're not going to have a Republican in the governor's mansion. It's not going to happen forever, okay? So sooner or later, these questions are going to be answered, especially if you have Democrats who even according to this article, just are going to throw out all the rules anyway, because they're Democrats. But the point is what is that number? I mean, who's to say the 16-12 couldn't have been 18-10 or couldn't have been 17-9, or what is that right number?
Yeah, that's really the challenge. And ultimately, this is where the members are going to have to, if they want to do something different, they're going to have to step up to the plate and make a strong constitutional argument from their own perspective. And that's something I think, Drew, people just kind of breeze past a lot. Yes, our Supreme Courts are the arbiter of constitutionality once something gets litigated. Ultimately, they get to be the umpire to call the balls or the strikes. But every single person that's elected to office swears the same oath to the Constitution. So whether you serve in the governor's mansion or in the legislature, you are held to the same expectation to look at the Constitution, interpret what it means, and make a decision based upon that. You're not just abdicating your responsibility to the court. You need to be prepared to argue what is the constitutional action that you can take here. And in that regard, I think the legislature absolutely has the right and really the responsibility to be robust in their action when it comes to any of the decisions, and redistricting's chief among them. Don't let it be a process driven by fear of the court. Last time in 2010, the Florida House drew maps under the fair districting amendments. They never lost in court. In fact, it was so unassailable, the leftists that sued the Senate and the congressional maps didn't even try to sue the House maps. And those House maps resulted in an increased majority in the House for Republicans. So you can follow the standards. You can commit to what fair really means objectively, and still have maps that reflect where the state is, which is a majority conservative state.
Yeah, and I think the important point is, again, for me, I'm always concerned about, and it's something that many people have talked to me about, strengthening, like uber strengthening, the fact that we are a conservative red state, and to keep that in place. And by doing so, or in doing so, we are trying our best to not only elect people that understand the Constitution, the rule of law in this state, but also have the values that we have. And ultimately, that leads us to a Supreme Court where we are hopeful. It is funny how even on a federal level or at the state level, it's the same discussion. The difference between court members that are put in by Democrats and Republicans is one is following the Constitution, and the other one is like, I'm kind of political on this. And that's the difference, and that's the problem, and that's always been the problem, and it is something that we continue to keep an eye on, especially with this story, if that makes sense. Because, ultimately that's what we're trying to do here, to do what's right. And like you said, being the party of principle. And unfortunately, sometimes with those principles, Democrats use those principles against us because we sometimes want to argue political points in the world that we would like to live in, as opposed to the reality of the one that we're in. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. People are always going to be looking for an advantage, and no more so than our friends on the left that want to try to use the levers of government to increase power rather than those of us who are conservative who recognize we got to limit power. That's the only way to sustain a republic, is to limit the power that's exercised by our government.
Yeah. Matt Caldwell joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Florida Supreme Court to mull proposed constitutional amendment on casinos. And this is out of Tallahassee.com, the website. So what about this story? What caught your eye with this?
Well, it's just interesting that you've got a one proposal that deals exclusively with gambling in North Florida that has reached the threshold to get Supreme Court review. A lot of listeners here in Southwest Florida, I'm sure, have run into folks that are asking for signatures for some statewide gambling amendments, pretty aggressive expansion of gaming, and looking for petitions. Those petitions have not gotten as far down the field as this one has. And it's just interesting, I think, in particular, because North Florida, I think, has a reputation for being the most conservative, religiously conservative part of the state. And yet they have reached the threshold for Supreme Court review. Now, what that means is they've got enough signatures for the court to look at it and say, to take the time to look at it and say, is this proposal constitutional? Can it continue to go forward? It still would need about another 600,000 signatures to make the ballot. But I think that's a really interesting contrast with what we're seeing on these other statewide proposals that are everywhere.
Yeah. So we keep an eye on that, certainly through this legislative session. Also, something else we're keeping an eye on is ethical breaches. And if there are, that you would report on these ethical breaches. Unless, of course, apparently if you're the Miami Herald, who doesn't want to point at certain individuals that are committing ethical breaches because, well, politics, because it's journalizing as opposed to journalism, I guess, or investigative reporting. That's not going to happen. So what's this story? Who got caught in an ethical breach, and what is this story with the Miami Herald all about?
Well, Miami Herald has a reporter, Mary Ellen Kloss. She's been there, I think, the better part of 2 decades, and infamous in Tallahassee. Any conservative that's been elected has crossed paths with her. She is no friend to conservative ideology. And what was so deliciously sweet about this story is she got caught with her hand in the cookie jar. She was interviewing one of the Democratic leaders in the Senate. This is dealing with the redistricting questions. And on tape, she is clearly leading him, asking him to go into committee and ask questions about racial demographics, about political demographics, to try clearly to put on record points that leftist litigants can use in subsequent lawsuits. There's no question when you listen to the audio, she's not asking questions to inform readers. She's asking questions as an activist trying to set up a lawsuit against the Republican-led Senate and legislature. And it's so breathtaking in its violation of ethical standards that the only people coming to her defense are her own employer that have no choice but to try to defend this behavior. And it's just completely beyond the pale.
Wow. Yeah, and when it comes to media outlets and what they do and what they decide to do and the people that work there, the best sometimes that we can do is to call them out when they're caught, to call them out. And then ultimately, you have the question and the doubts that people have about those specific outlets. The Miami Herald, that we all know where they're going to go with the talking points, how they're going to approach, let's say, 22 and even into 24, and how you have to question everything that comes out of that publication, which is such a shame ultimately, because when you're trying to get to, some journalistic integrity in trying to find it and then have a publication where you want to go to that, by the way, is going to be parroted by others. It's going to be ripped and read and put out there by other places, whether it's AP or somebody that's going to pick up the story. And then ultimately you'll have a local news organization that will run that story. In this case, could be something like this, or could be on the other side of a story like this. That's the fear, right? That you have rip and read, that all of a sudden these things multiply out there in the universe. And like we talked a little bit earlier about, they don't correct the story. They don't take them down. They leave these things up, these stories, negative against the governor and negative against specific politicians. It could be you. I mean, I just put that out there from past stories. I'm just throwing that out there, Matt Caldwell. But the idea is that they don't take them down. They don't correct the record so that they can ultimately go back to them and use them again as if they're gospel.
Yeah, absolutely. Once you print the headline becomes the story. But what's so fantastic about this particular incident is it really proves and exposes the bias for one of the leading papers. Miami Herald and Tampa Bay Times have traditionally been the two newspapers that always cover the Tallahassee. They always set that narrative in terms of what you're talking about, where the local TV news and radio will pick up what the headlines are and run with them. This exposes just how corrupt these reporters are. Mary Ellen Kloss is the lead Capitol reporter for that combined news bureau. She's the one, by and large, who gets the bylines that is reporting on the governor and on the actions of the legislature. And when you have that person, the person who is the leader for reporting on everything Tallahassee, exposed as a completely partisan activist, masquerading as a reporter at this point, it completely blows open any credibility that these newspapers had left. And it's really ultimately damaging to them. I think most of us have kind of given up on the newspaper industry. I don't understand why you don't have one that takes the conservative tact in a Florida level. Wall Street Journal, for example, has taken that spot in the national media landscape. But they've blown themselves up, lit themselves on fire with this one. Yeah. And for those of us that know the truth, we kind of enjoy watching it be exposed finally.
Yeah. All right. But quickly before we go, your thoughts on the governor's state of the state, and also the fact that when it comes to some polls that are out there right now, the governor is showing up as a serious contender if you're looking at 2024.
He is the odds-on favorite if Donald Trump doesn't run again. And ultimately, I really think that President Trump is going to evaluate, can he win? He has one of the best pollsters on the planet, Tony Fabrizio, who used to work for Governor Rick Scott when he got elected in 2010, and everybody said, who is this guy? He is, I guarantee, the President Trump is polling every single competitive state every single day to see whether he can get there. Does he have the support to win without question? If for whatever reason he doesn't, then I think he's going to step back and look for an opportunity to elevate somebody else. And Governor DeSantis is the one that's in that pole position as we sit here today.
Yeah. All right, Matt Caldwell, I appreciate you joining us today on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. And let's try to do this again soon, because I want to keep an eye on what's going on with session as we're in it. So we'll do that. All the best.
Absolutely. Always a pleasure, Drew.
All right. We'll see you soon. 239-479-5592, the talk and text line. We stream live, drewsteele.com, the website, Steele as for Ease. Thank you for watching and subscribing to our podcast and to our channel on Rumble. It's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
When listening to the radio in your car, remember to always drive on the right side of the road. Keep it here on 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
With customer service being top priority, visit United Fidelity Bank at 14241 Metro Parkway and let them help you save and grow with market-leading CD rates. Shop, compare, invest with United Fidelity Bank's 18-month CD currently earning a 0.75% APY. The difference is United Fidelity. A penalty may be imposed for early withdrawal. Minimum deposit of $1,000 required to open CD. CD renews automatically to a standard 18-month term at the rate in effect at time of renewal, unless instructed otherwise.
You know what you want to do in retirement, but do you know how to get there? Tune in to Retire with Grace with Bob Grace, Saturday mornings at 8 and Sundays at noon to get the answers to your retirement planning questions. Plan today so you can do the things you've always dreamt about doing in retirement. Don't miss Retire with Grace, a Trifound company, Saturday mornings at 8 and Sundays at noon. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Manufactured in the USA, Plantation Shutters for You is your best choice for plantation shutters. Custom measured and installed just for you. Built to last forever. Call today for a free consultation. Discounts for all military and first responders. Also, if you support Biden, don't blink and call us. PlantationShuttersForYou.com.
Rockstar Harley has secured 0% APR financing on all new Harley-Davidsons this week. Rockstar Harley has over 300 Harleys on site ready for immediate delivery. Finance experts on site to help get you approved. 0% APR on all new Harleys this week at Rockstar Harley. Up your credit ends Sunday.
Hello, Floridians. Today is a good day to do great things. Yes, like finally getting your closet organized. Or fixing your water heater so you can enjoy warm, steamy showers. Oh, yeah. Do something great today by calling Plumbing Today to take care of all your plumbing needs. Right now, get our 93 or free drain clearing and get the best from today.
Call today, Plumbing Today, plumbingtoday.biz.
Visit plumbingtoday.biz to book an appointment.
Hey guys, it's Robbie Raw. As an RN and health and fitness expert, I know that self-care from head to toe is so important for a healthy, fit lifestyle. One of my secrets for staying active, fit, and pain-free are my amazing art supports from the Good Feet store. It's not just about what shoes you wear, it's what's in them and how your body aligns from your feet on up. I'm telling you, these were a game changer for me. I am as active as ever, and I feel like myself again. If you have foot pain, knee, hip, or back pain, the first thing you should do is visit the Good Feet store for a free personalized fitting and test walk. I'm not going to stop living my best life anytime soon, nor should you. To be the best version of you, you need to take care of yourself, and the Good Feet store can make that happen. And by the way, when you feel great, you look great, and that's the raw truth. Learn more and find the location nearest you at goodfeet.com.
Dial star 2020. France Eye Care.
Trey Riedel, your host of The Drive, here for my friends at France Eye Care, where I had the LASIK procedure. Let me tell you, France Eye Care has the experts in laser vision correction. Because no two eyes are alike, Dr. France and Dr. Birch there offer a suite of services at France Eye Care that are tailored to meet the individual needs of your eyes. Look, it's a new year. Why not do it? You've been dealing with contacts and glasses for way too long. I did for decades. I got the LASIK procedure done with Dr. France and his team, and it's life-changing. There's just no other way to put it. Don't compromise when it comes to your eyes. Choose the experts with the latest technology at France Eye Care. Give them a call today to see if you're a candidate. Schedule your free LASIK screening. Dial star 2020 from your mobile phone. Financing's available and affordable. It's the new year. Get a new set of eyes.
Dial star 2020. France Eye Care.
Youthful, energetic, happy, sexual, strong, physical, no fear. Taking the bull by the horns.
Old, tired, joint aches, overweight, wrinkled, depressed, sex. I remember what that was.
In men, low testosterone can lead to muscle loss, extra body fat, fatigue, depression, and erectile dysfunction. In women, hormonal imbalance can similarly cause extra fat around your middle and thighs, lack of desire, feminine dryness, and exhaustion. Suboptimal hormone levels are associated with the development of disease states like osteoporosis, heart disease, and stroke. At Neogenics, we specialize in testosterone, growth hormone promoters, bioidentical hormones, and nutritional programs designed to correct these imbalances and make you feel revitalized. See why patients from across the country are coming to Neogenics and take the first step to feeling great again. Call Neogenics for a free consultation at 277-9999 or find us online at neogenicmd.com. That's 277-9999. Neogenics, rediscover your youth.
Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says there will be a vote by Monday, Martin Luther King Day, on voting rights legislation.
President Biden in Atlanta going all out on the issue.
I will not yield. I will not flinch. I will defend the right to vote, our democracy against all enemies, foreign and, yes, domestic.
Tennessee House Republican Diana Harshbarger calls it a power grab.
Their goal is to federalize all national elections. The states will have no say in their voter rights. And Americans, why would they even go to the poll if they know that we'll never get another Republican elected? It's, they're not trying to disguise their plan.
She was on Fox and Friends first. Third night of protests in Fayetteville, North Carolina over the fatal shooting of a man by an off-duty deputy. He claims Jason Walker climbed onto his truck's hood and started beating on the windshield. Walker's girlfriend says he was hit by the truck before the shooting. America's listening to Fox News.
This update is presented by Stevie Tomato Sports Page in Fort Myers, Cape Coral, and Naples.
Wink News, traffic.
Dealing with several major crashes across Southwest Florida right now. We still have Pondella Road blocked off in the eastbound right-hand lane because of an earlier crash involving a vehicle into a power pole. Crews are working to get power restored in that area and get the scene cleared. So we're seeing a lot of backups eastbound on Pondella, heading toward Barrett Road near the crash scene. Another crash in North Fort Myers over on Business 41 North Tamiami Trail near Easy Street. That's right near Lazy Days Village. If you're heading that direction, both sides of 41 are backed up, it looks like, right near where Business 41 meets US 41. And in Charlotte County, a deadly crash involving a pedestrian hit by a vehicle that's blocking all southbound lanes at Melbourne Street, which is the northern end of the 41 bridge crossing the Peace River into Fisherman's Village. So you'll want to take I-75 instead. You can get there via Harborview Road if you're in Port Charlotte right now. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Therese O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Another day of above average temperatures with highs in the upper 70s across all of southwest Florida. Expect things to remain dry as far as humidity is concerned, but still rain chances popping back up into the forecast as early as this morning. Very low chances this morning, but eventually a few stray showers and even weaker thunderstorms will likely form in the early evening to early overnight hours tonight. Eventually, tomorrow morning, we'll see a second round of rain and scattered thunderstorms. Those will be ahead of a cold front that will dry us out for the remainder of this week. By the start of next week, expect highs to be into the upper 60s and lower 70s to start things off. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Nash Rhodes.
Whether you're commuting to the office or driving to the beach, always stay to the right with 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Hi, it's Big Al from Stevie Tomatoes. They say love and passion makes the world go round. Love for home, family, your country, partner, a friend, and love for food. Stevie wants to be part of your love with our food, drink, sports, and fun. Our passion for your satisfaction brings our love to all of our great customers. Whether it's our brisket short rib burgers, Chicago pizza, fajitas, wings, fish fry, or ribs, it's delivered to your table with love. So at Stevie's, we invite you to share our love of great food, drinks, sports, and fun. You'll never get bored or broke. We feel loved by the sound of our great customers. We promise to treat you like family at your home away from home. I guarantee it. For daily specials, go to StevieTomato.com. Stevie Tomatoes Sports Page, Cape Coral, Fort Myers, and Naples. Come, come, come.
Stevie Tomatoes Sports Page. Come for the food. Stay for the sports.
Hi, this is Earl Ron, president of New South Window. If you need new windows or doors for your home, heads up. This message is for you. New South is having a one-day factory sale this Saturday only in our factory showroom. 40% off high-performance award-winning windows, 40% off energy-efficient windows and patio doors, 40% off our factory direct products installed. Bring in your measurements for on-the-spot pricing or call today. One day only, this Saturday from 9 till 4. New South Windows are made in Florida, for Florida homes, by Florida workers, and we guarantee them for life. Please visit us at newsouthwindow.com.
Goodbye, pests. I'll see you later. I called National Exterminators. For just $46, they get all rodents and bugs. 23946, no bug.
Call the boys at National Exterminators at 23946, no bug, or visit them online at pestcontrolmadeeasy.com for all your pest control needs. Bugs, termites, rodents, and even attic insulation. Better service, better prices, and no contracts.
Goodbye, pests. I'll see you later. I called National exterminators. For just $46, they get all rodents and bugs. 23946 no bug.
Call the Boas and National Exterminators at 239-46-NO-BUG or visit them online at pestcontrolmadeeasy.com for all your pest control needs. Bugs, termites, rodents, and even attic insulation. Better service, better prices, and no contracts.
Trust. It's the rock-solid foundation of Moran Wealth Management. Over 40 years ago, they began advising clients on ways to help meet their financial goals. 4 decades later, we've helped many reach their goals of providing for themselves, their families, and future generations. CEO Tom Moran has assembled an impressive team of professionals, each committed to the same core concept. Tom is recognized by Barron's as a Hall of Fame advisor. To be named a Hall of Fame advisor, the advisor has to have been ranked by Barron's consecutively for the last 10 years in any of their rankings. Let us earn your trust. Call 239-920-4440 or visit moranwm.com. Barron's rankings are based on data provided by thousands of advisors. Factors included in the rankings were assets under management, revenue produced for the firm, regulatory record, length of service, quality of practice, and client retention. Investment products and services are offered through Wells Fargo Advisors Financial Network, LLC, WFAFN, member SIPC. Moran Wealth Management is a separate entity from WFAFN.
Stay right here, because after Drew, it's Glenn Beck, 9 to noon. 92.5 Fox News. Right, all along.
All right, let's do it right now. Time for the top 5 audio clips of the day. Here we go. It's the 5 at 8:35.
Drew's Top 5 at 8:35 is brought to you by Moran Wealth Management. Isn't it time to review your portfolio options? Go to moranwm.com.
5 at 8:35. Number 5.
All 4 of you signed this letter back in 2017 saying you would oppose changes to the filibuster, that it was important to protect minorities' right to input and all this. I know you feel this bill is particularly important, but I just came from a Republican press conference where they called all of you hypocrites for changing your view on that, and I'm curious what you say to that.
My quick answer is because this is about democracy, not about policy. I answered that in my remarks.
And let me say that as somebody who signed that at the time, we were not where we are today. We're in terms of this continual abuse, really the tyranny of the minority using the filibuster.
Okay, when a reporter asks 4 Democrat senators, including Chuck Schumer, hey, listen, Republicans are asking the question, why is it you flip-flopped on this? You were staunchly for filibusters. Oh, we got to keep them. We can't get rid of the filibuster. The filibuster is something that saves from the tyranny of a minority that's out of control a majority that's out of control, and it gives voice to the minority in a part. And then all of a sudden, now you're like, we don't need a filibuster. We got to get rid of it. I mean, we've got to move the Voting Rights Act forward. And what's the flip-flop? What's up with this? And then there's, I don't know which senator it was who said, it's about our democracy. That's the difference, because it's tyranny being committed. Okay, gotcha.
Number 4.
Even today, across the nation, we see students denied an education due to reckless, politically motivated school closures, workers denied employment due to heavy-handed mandates, and Americans denied freedoms due to a coercive biomedical apparatus. These unprecedented policies have been as ineffective as they have been destructive. They are grounded more in blind adherence to Fauci and declarations than they are in the constitutional traditions that are the foundation of free nations. Florida is a free state.
Woo! Just part of the governor of the great state of Florida yesterday in the State of the State address. Boy, I'll tell you what, when you listen to that, it sounds awfully presidential, doesn't it?
Number 3.
I want to turn to the FBI. How many FBI agents or confidential informants actively participated in the events of January 6th?
Sir, I'm sure you can appreciate that I can't go into the specifics of sources and methods.
Did any FBI agents or confidential informants actively participate in the events of January 6th? Yes or no?
Sir, I can't answer that.
Did any FBI agents or confidential informants commit crimes of violence on January 6th?
I can't answer that, sir.
Senator Ted Cruz making up for his domestic terrorist comment about January 6th and the attacks that Tucker Carlson called him out for. Well, making amends for that, grilling the executive assistant director of the FBI's National Security Branch, Jill Sanborn, about whether the FBI had employees or informants participating in the January 6th Capitol riot. And it's an interesting answer that she will not talk about that, confirm or deny what he was saying. Were there FBI employees or informants participating? And he also went in another direction, asked about Ray Epps. And I'm going to play that in just a second, and we're going to get into that in just a bit.
Number 2.
If you look at the email
that you responded to and hurried up and said, I can do it. We got something in Wired magazine.
No. I think in usual fashion, Senator, you are distorting everything about me.
Did you ever object to Dr. Collins' characterization of them as friends? Did you write back to Dr. Collins and say, no, they're not friends, they're esteemed scientists, and it would be beneath me
I did not
do that? You responded to him that you would do it, and you immediately got an article in Wired, and you sent it back to him and said, hey, look, I've got him. I nailed him in Wired of all scientific
That's not
publications.
what went on. There you go again. You just do the same thing every hearing.
That was your response. And this wasn't the only time. So your desire to take down people...
You're absolutely incorrect. As usual, Senator, you are incorrect almost everything you say.
Well, no, you deny, but the emails tell the truth of this.
The emails tell the truth, everybody. So there you go. Fauci can't handle the truth. Back from 2000 and whatever it was. You can't handle the truth. What, A Few Good Men. Remember that movie, A Few Good Men? Jake the Millennial, A Few Good Men. Few Good Men?
Tom Cruise?
Yeah, and who is the other guy? Anyway, very reminiscent of there. You can't handle the truth. Rand Paul saying that Dr. Fauci, according to these emails, conspired with Dr. Francis Collins to do a quick and devastating takedown of prominent epidemiologists from Harvard, Stanford, Oxford by smearing them as fringe. I mean, is that what science is all about? Well, if you go against Dr. Fauci, who is science, I mean, if you look up science in the dictionary, there's Fauci's face smiling right back at you and not really taking it very well for his $420,000 salary.
Number 1.
Today, I'm making it clear, to protect our democracy, I support changing the Senate rules, whichever way they need to be changed to prevent a minority of senators from blocking action on voting rights.
There's that cough.
When it comes to protecting majority rule in America, the majority should rule in the United States Senate.
Hey, I mean, protecting majority rule. Hey, we're a constitutional republic. The majority rule thing, it's a weird thing to say. But there's the president of the United States saying, we got democracy and majority rules. And the majority says, we want voting rights. You got to stop forcing people not to vote. Where is that happening? There in Georgia with the vice president of the United States, or in his words, the president of the United States, Kamala Harris, trying to get voting rights, this bill passed. Because really it's the only hope they have.
Drew's 5 at 8:35.
A voting rights bill that will fundamentally help to transform the country, take the Constitution out of it, and it's going to federalize, nationalize the election processes, which is exactly what Democrats would like to do. Not only that, but to make voter ID illegal. Ban voter ID. You can't show an ID when you go to vote, and you can't even ask people for it, according to this bill. And a lot of other provisions in there, some of the most ridiculous things you could possibly imagine. But there he is, the president of the United States, doing just that, getting rid of the filibuster when, of course, not too long ago, you had to have the filibuster. It was one of the most important things, but now it's not. The 60-vote threshold that has to be crossed, that filibuster, and now just to make it a simple majority of votes. And they don't even really have them with Kristen Sinema and Joe Manchin, who clearly are not on board with this, as some others are not. Mark Kelly, a Democrat of Arizona, and Jeanne Shaheen, also a Democrat, not necessarily on board with this. So they're not the only ones. But, of course, they're going to continue to push this. By the way, I know I want to skim some of the headlines because there's so many stories I want to get to today and just kind of at least touch on them. Play a little bit of audio from Joe Biden from yesterday. He's upset. He's slamming the podium, everybody.
I've been having these quiet conversations with the members of Congress for the last 2 months. I'm tired of being quiet.
Okay. Can you keep being quiet? Can you be quiet? He's tired of being quiet. I wonder if he says this. He's like, it's like,
quiet.
Wait, he doesn't want to be quiet, right? It's
being quiet.
Where's my Jello?
Being quiet.
What time is lunch? Okay. Anyway, so there's the president there. What else did he have to say? One other thing quickly. I know he was bringing up the mail-in ballots, the issue of that, and he said.
So they're making it harder for you to vote by mail.
They're really not, but they want you to think so. But go ahead. They're in Georgia.
The same way, I might add, in the 2020 election.
Yeah.
President Trump voted from behind the desk in the White House in Florida.
He voted in the behind the desk in the White House in Florida. How do you do that? How did that happen? I don't know. I don't know. Jake's like, I don't know how you do that. How does the White House, the desk? I don't know. It's a sci-fi thing. It's very okay. And one other thing quickly that we have to lies, tons of lies from the president. Here's another one.
Longer lines at the polls. Lines that can last for hours. You've seen it with your own eyes. People get tired. They get hungry.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do about lines at the polling places, right? You couldn't have more polling places, more people working because it's not a pandemic, so you don't have to worry about getting people to be at a polling place. That's an impossibility. Is it really?
When the Bible teaches us to feed the hungry and give water to the thirsty, the new Georgia law actually makes it illegal. Think of this. I mean, it's 2020.
Yeah, it's 2022, Drew. No, it doesn't make it illegal. That is a lie. Even PolitiFact said way back when they were spewing this lie that it's not true at all. As a matter of fact, they're talking about poll workers can set up self-serve water stations. They just don't want somebody to go into the line and say, hey, Joe Johnson for Congress, and here's a bottle of water with Joe Johnson's name on it. Hey, thirsty? Here. Joe wants you to have this. Oh, and by the way, how about a Thin Mint? We got some Girl Scout Thin Mints, the best. By the way, Thin Mints, did you know that there is absolutely positively no replacement for Thin Mints? There's not a product on the market. That shows you how great Thin Mints are. You can only get them at the Girl Scouts can only give you a Thin Mint. There is no replacement in the world to a Thin Mint. And then Joe wants you to have one. Yeah, you can't do that. I don't know why. That seems outrageous. But they're hungry. Bring a snack. Anyway, so that's a flat out lie. By the way, the governor of the great state of Florida, Ron DeSantis, had a fantastic speech yesterday at the State of the State. So many things were said, and Nikki Fried thinks it's all ridiculous. No, I'm not kidding. The spokesperson for the assistant commissioner and working for Nikki Fried had a statement after the State of the State, and here's what, he posted what Nikki Fried said after the State of the State addressed by the governor. And here's Nikki Fried, Democrat. Here's what she says, quote, the state of our state is perhaps its worst in a generation under Governor DeSantis, and the further out of touch he grows with reality, the more Florida's systemic cracks of inequality will continue growing into canyons of disparity. Yeah, you go with that. Yeah, that's, I'm telling you, the state of Florida, we're all looking around and going, boy, that is, that might be the dumbest thing I ever heard, but that's okay. You run with that. That's good. There's Nikki Fried for you. All right. She might agree with,
True international effort to pressure.
She might agree with that too. I don't really know. All right. I did want to get to this quickly. This was something that was very interesting today or yesterday. Ted Cruz, Senate committee, January 6th, had some questions, wanted to know about the FBI and the FBI, the possible involvement in January 6th. Simple questions, just want to know, hey, listen, any FBI employees or informants participating in the January 6th Capitol riot, asking the assistant director of the FBI's National Security Branch, Jill Sanborn, about this and getting some interesting answers. And then one other question he asks.
Did any FBI agents or FBI informants actively encourage and incite crimes of violence on January 6th?
Sir, I can't answer that.
Ms. Sadburn, who is Ray Epps?
Ooh.
I'm aware of the individual, sir. I don't have the specific background to him.
No specific background, but they're aware of the person named Ray Epps. What's up with that? Why couldn't they answer that question? For those that don't know, Ray Epps is probably the one single human being on the face of the planet with video and audio that you could look at and specifically say beyond a shadow of a doubt that this is the person, this is the individual that, if you could make the case, incited what could be the rioters to enter the Capitol on that day. Here he is.
Tomorrow, we need to go into the Capitol. Into the Capitol.
Into the Capitol, he says. Here he is again.
In fact, tomorrow, I don't even like to say it because I'll be arrested. Well, let's not say it. We need to go, I'll say it. All right. We need to go in.
We need to go into the Capitol, he said. And then there's video of him, the one individual who was pushing down the barriers to break into this multiple locations, announced this multiple times on video. How come they don't have this individual in jail right now and in their possession? Thousands of protesters, thousands of footage. Here's the one guy who they have, who we know, who incited a riot, who actually pushed through the breach and breached the Capitol grounds, did it. We have it on video. They had him, this individual, Ray Epps, as one of the most wanted. He was one of the most wanted, and then all of a sudden, it's purged, like it's gone. Like you can't even ask the question. Ray Epps, never heard of this guy. Like, what are you talking about? How is it that the FBI doesn't want to speak of this individual? Like, what's up with that? And Revolver has, Revolver.news has a whole article, couple of pages on Ray Epps and the questions about Ray Epps and the enigma of Ray Epps and the connections of Ray Epps. And that he wasn't just if Epps was just a cog in a much larger federal operation, he wouldn't have been deployed alone. There would have to be people along with him. And there are these connections and these questions that need to be answered. Adam Kinzinger, who's on the House committee, says, oh, nothing to see here. Everything's fine. Move along. I talked to this guy, and he says there's no involvement. He's got nothing to do with the FBI. There's nothing to see here. Really? No, we have a lot of questions. The January 6th committee put out a tweet, as a matter of fact, that says the committee has interviewed Epps. Epps informed us that he was not employed by, working with, or acting at the direction of any law enforcement agency on January 5th or 6th or at any other time, and he's never been an informant for the FBI or any other law enforcement agency. Okay, got it. No problem. Okay, good. We're good. So the January 6th committee there says nothing to see here. No, there's something to see here. Ted Cruz pressured them for answers. And good for Ted Cruz for doing that. And hopefully others will ask questions about Ray Epps and about the FBI's involvement, possibly. It's interesting that they wouldn't say anything about it. And certainly you could deny it. Why no denial? Just a question. All right, 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line. We stream live, drewsteele.com. The website, Steele has 3 E's. Thank you for watching and subscribing to the podcast. Certainly going to the website. Thank you so much. All right, we'll see you in the morning. Glenn Beck is next. Right now, let's find out what's going on with the remainder of our forecast with Wink News meteorologist Nash Rhodes.
Eyes climb